And we should be live. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to the New and 51. We're doing Electabuzz and Magmar today. Infinipede and Banana Meteor are already here with me. I, however, forgot to put on the background music, so let me go get that.
Hello. Good to be back. Even if I'm just kind of here to observe what you two did today, but I'm excited to see what you have brought to the table.
Observe and critique.
Yes.
Tell us all the things we're doing wrong.
It's normally very little. You guys are good at it.
Thank you.
All right. We don't have music, but now the stream should have music. Welcome, Serp Royal, and anyone else who's already here. So we decided to make these two as a pair. I took on Electabuzz, Infinipede took on Magmar, but we shared our concept as we went. And by as we went, I mean like yesterday, because I was very late. I was thinking about it as I had it in my head, but I had not actually committed anything to paper even until this morning. So, so I just want to show you the like initial sketches that we did. So I'll just start with. We'll probably do Electabuzz first, just because it comes first in the Pokedex, and that's what we've been doing. But since Infinipede, your sketch, since you did that one first, I'm gonna put that one on screen first. Your very initial sketch. So just can you just tell us what you were thinking for this one?
Yeah, well, I obviously wasn't thinking because my finger got in the frame when I did that.
It's part of the design. It's very avant-garde.
Yeah, you got the tip of my finger. I was thinking of just taking the boobs off its head. That was my biggest concern with Magmar. Was taking the boobs off his head, and I decided I'll just make them eyebrows because that would be kind of cool, like flaming, like eyebrow gland things instead of like boob head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to add the flames, I guess, elsewhere on the flame motif, elsewhere in the body. I don't really like his weird, like, I don't know how to describe his arms. They've got this, like, funky, flaky-looking texture to them.
Yeah, like scaly thing.
Yeah, so I kind of changed that. I wanted to make him look a little like an echidna. Because of the beak, to kind of make the beak make sense. So I went with like an echidna beak. He's already got the 4 claws that an echidna does, so rolled with that. And I also think there's just a lot of fire types that are just like, hi, I have a flame on my tail, like on the tip of my tail.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Gen 1.
Yeah, especially in Gen 1. So I wanted to change that up, so I made the flame go across the top of the tail.
Cool. Yeah, so then your idea of the echidna got me thinking about echidnas too, because echidnas, or just all monotremes, they have electroreceptors, so they're able to use the like bioelectricity of their food to find it. Same thing that sharks can do as well, I think, but the monotremes are known to have that, and so here's my first sketch. I forgot to make it full opacity. There you go. So that was my first sketch that I did. The main thing that I wanted to change about it is that I really like a lot of the kind of design elements, the aesthetic of Elekid and Electivire. And Electabuzz is kind of the odd one out. And I'm not designing this to be a new middle stage, right, for Elekid and Electivire, but I just like what Elekid and Electivire did so much more. I wanted to make sure that I could incorporate some of those elements, and so that's why you have the like really big forearms, um, the plug shaped horns from Elekid, but I also wanted to incorporate Echidna elements, so I gave it that like really long kind of snout, and also made the like what would have been just the fur, I guess, on the shoulders and on the elbows. I like I guess it could still be read as just fur, but now I'm picturing it more as spines. And then to kind of tie it with Magmar, I suggested that we do elemental chest markings in a format, in a style that is consistent across the two, because they do already have elemental chest markings, but we can just like standardize them. And then we could also have an element on the tail that is consistent across both. So for Electabuzz, it would be like a thundercloud, like a Raijin kind of thing. Thundercloud and lightning. And for Magmar, it could be just fire and smoke. But, you know, have that kind of cloudy part to it. Be consistent across both. So, so here is what Infinipede's like version 2 sketch. And I really like this.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one.
Did you have anything in particular you want to talk about, how you changed it?
No, I just, I will comment on, I added like a darker red, just because I think that made it a little more interesting having the orange, yellow, and red. Having that, especially because Magmar's like color scheme is not entirely consistent with how dark the orange is, just because of the Sugimori style and how it changes over time.
Yeah.
The orange sometimes reads as red and sometimes reads as orange, so I thought, why not both?
Yeah, just looking at the two Gen 1 pieces of art that we have, like on the top one it's very orange, on the middle one it's very red.
Yeah, exactly. And then I really liked the idea of the smoke and the elemental chest markings, so I did those, and yeah, it's not too much changed from the original design. I really like the ideas that Libris brought up to sort of combine the two as a pair, so I included those in my concept.
Yeah, I really like it. And then my second sketch is, I literally just did this before the stream, so I didn't even get a chance to color it. But we didn't like the way the like long snout was looking. But I did want to keep a kind of elongated face, so I just gave a slightly shorter snout, but still giving it a snout.
You're gonna have a short beak echidna, a long beak echidna.
Yeah.
There are the two types.
And I wasn't liking the plug head kind of pointing out to the sides, so I made it more straight up. That's really the only changes that I made, but we also talked about adding some color into it, probably some blue somewhere to... like if Magmar is going to have that extra color, then it makes sense for Electabuzz to have it as well. And blue makes sense because the Pokedex says that Electabuzz like glows blue when it has a lot of power. So
also, Raijin is shown as either green or blue a lot of the time. I forget which one is green, which one's blue.
I don't know, but blue makes sense.
Blue, cool color, you know.
Yeah. I did also consider changing, like, making the plug horns actually be like the round type of plug, The
be
slightly more
interesting.
old-fashioned these days. So it would just be like kind of round horns. And then making the claws on the hands be the kind that has like the two flat ones and then the grounding plug. So like the thumb claw would be the round grounding plug, and the two
Oh.
claws on the edges would be.
Like that.
I like that idea, but when I tried it out, I will probably want to try it out again and maybe try to do it a little bit differently. But it just seemed, I don't know, it seemed to like stand out too much. It seemed too man-made.
There are older plugs that are like 2 round and then a third shorter round one. So you could just
There's
maybe
so many. There are so many
Yeah.
varieties of plugs like worldwide.
Oh yeah. I mean, just noting like the types of plugs I have in my house that is frustratingly full of a lot of 2-prong only outlets because it's an older house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just taking note of stuff like that. I think maybe even just making the 2 finger claws longer than the thumb claw would kind of be like a callback to that, and that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, or making them like a silver color to kind of.
Oh yeah.
Of course, most claws are already like that white silver, but there's gotta be
Yeah,
something
yeah.
to do to
Yeah,
get it
like a
little
darker-
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they could be a little bit darker and maybe match the color of the cloud. Yeah. Oh, it looks like we don't have a lot of people in chat at the moment. Where is everyone? Yeah. So, do you mind if we start with Electabuzz, even though it came second? It's just because it comes first in the Pokedex.
Or
Okay. Let me hide.
We streamed when everyone had plans. Whoops.
Their loss.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep these guys up. Electivire and Elekid. I just like them so much.
they're really good.
Yeah.
And Elekid was actually like when I tried doing chaining, I wanted the shiny Electivire, so I was chaining Elekids. Oh my god, chaining was so hard.
In which game? In.
Original like platinum, I think.
Oh, okay. Let's get this here. I think I need to. I definitely need to adjust the face a little bit. It might look better if I turn the face more so that it's more in profile. The snout might look less awkward if I do that.
I mean, well, are we going to do one of the poses, the Sugimori poses? Or are we going to take the pose that you have? They're both good.
Yeah. I don't particularly like any of these poses. Like the middle one is the best one.
I think I like the bottom one.
Really. The
Yeah.
top one we can ignore because it's so boring and
I
static.
mean, it's the iconic Electabuzz pose, but it is very boring.
Yeah.
Why has he even got his arms up like that? Is he like supposed to be flexing? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Oh, I should edit what the description says because I would just put a basic description for both of them, but I do want to give a more specific Electabuzz and then a more specific Magmar description.
Yeah. Like if you want to stick with the pose you have in your sketch, that's totally fine because like the
Yeah,
arms
fine.
are up, so like that shows them off. You got them away from the chest, so you get the chest design in there. There's enough like space between its arms and its head where you get like the silhouette of the plug and stuff. So like
Yeah.
totally fine.
You could also maybe change the arm that on our left to be sort of facing more straight, like the bottom Electabuzz has it. So it could be sort of like a mirror of the bottom Sugimori pose, in a sense. But not exactly like
Oh yeah, so like one going up and the other one stretched out, but with the opposite
yeah.
arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. I was.
That would also look a little like that top Elekid pose, too.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of some Electabuzz art that I've seen, but that has like, I guess it's kind of like that middle pose, but with one of the arms stretched forward. It's just, when I went to look at the official art, I thought that that was going to be one of the official art poses, and it wasn't. And then I like looked at all of the, or a bunch of the trading card art, and I couldn't find it. So actually, I don't know if I just imagined that that's the, that was an Electabuzz pose. But yeah, so I don't especially like any of them. But we could do something that's
Maybe
kind of a
like
cross
little,
between the middle and the bottom one.
Yeah, just like a little reminiscent of, like, I like the way you did the legs and the tail, but having like maybe the arms be like a little reminiscent of one of them.
I think it's interesting that canonically over time, it's like really sharp cheekbones. They've just kind of like gotten rid of those. They were like, yeah, that wasn't important.
Yeah, on the top one, they almost look like horns on the sides, right? And then on the bottom art, it's just a football-shaped head. That's all.
Yeah, he's Hey Arnold now. Forget about it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Castworm and Hafa, welcome. I think Elikid is okay, but I really like Electivire. I really wish it was electric fighting, though. I definitely expected it to be electric fighting when I first saw it.
There's a Digimon that looks like an electric fighting type Pokemon.
I don't know it. I'd be interested to see it, but
it looks like Toxtricity's like older swole brother. I think it's Bulkmon.
okay.
It's a more recent one. But every time I see it, I'm just like, it's Toxtricity's, like, it's the Chad Toxtricity. Not saying Toxtricity's bad, I love Toxtricity, but it just makes me think
I
of,
love
like,
Toxtricity, yeah.
it just makes me think of, like, the Chad meme, because Bulkmon's freaking massive.
I was just kind of going over what my next video is going to be. Oh no, this was when I was posting Scyther and Pinsir. I was listening to some of our Scyther and Pinsir stream so that I could like take notes about what I needed to put as comments on our Tumblr post. And then I like heard you guys talking about Digimon, and I was like, how often have we not brought up Digimon in one of these streams?
It's inevitable. It's going to get brought up.
So I was like, I'm not going to bring up Digimon, but I am going to keep an ear out for when Digimon gets brought up, because it's gonna happen.
It was Infinipede. Don't put it on me.
No, yeah, I like Digimon. Yeah. Oh no, now I know how to compare them. Toxtricity is the twink, and Bulkmon is the twunk.
I don't know what that means. I have not heard those terms.
Oh.
Am I missing out?
Like a thin, effeminate gay man.
Okay.
A twunk is a cross between a twink and a hunk.
Okay. Sure.
There you go.
So I guess I'll start by trying to redraw the face in a slightly more sideways position so that the snout can look a little bit more elongated.
I like the little snout you gave it.
Yeah, I like its little. It looks like it's got a cute little beak.
Now, are you gonna give it little dot nostrils still, like Electabuzz and Electivire have?
I can't say I was really thinking about the nostrils. Oh, come on, Photoshop. Are you already crapping out on me?
Oof.
What happens occasionally where it just like rips. It'll still save. I think I can still draw, but it doesn't scroll, so I can't actually look at the part of the canvas that I'm actually looking at.
Ooh, yeah.
Because the view that's on the stream is always the full canvas, just because that's easier to edit later. But I zoom in and out.
I assumed.
Yeah, but if this isn't gonna work, so that means I have to close Photoshop and open it again.
Raphael is commenting that they are amazed that you haven't heard what a twink is, and that's the thing about Libris. Libris is chronically online, but just knows no online slang.
I don't think that I'm chronically online. I don't really go on any spaces besides Twitter and like my community Discord.
I mean, you're a content creator. You have to be chronically online.
Yeah, I would argue that being a YouTuber means that you are chronically online. You are there. You are interacting with your audience.
Oh, sure, but yeah, okay. You can add my YouTube comment section to that list of places that I actually go, but I don't encounter internet slang that easily.
The secret is we just all have to start talking about memes in your comment spaces so you can absorb
There you
them.
go. There you go. That'll do it. And now you guys can see it again. Let's actually zoom in a little extra so we have less wasted space on the screen.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
I
there you
agree
go.
with chat that Electabuzz is definitely the weakest out of this line, which is funny because normally I'm even pretty biased towards some Gen 1 stuff, but like no, Elekid and Electivire are just like perfect. So
Yeah,
It's a solid line in general, though. Like
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
even if Electabuzz isn't like amazing, it's like a good enough design.
yeah, I'm
For sure.
not like offended by it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I wasn't saying you were. I'm just saying like the line as a whole. Like I like all of them. I can't say that for like a lot of Pokemon lines.
Yeah, like
Fair,
Jinx, where you just vastly improved Jinx.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for that.
Something that I really like about Electabuzz specifically is not actually in its design. Its Chinese name essentially translates, at least according to Bulbapedia, to Shock Beast. And I love how that sounds like an off-brand Electabuzz name. Like, I don't know, like Mario would be like Red Plumber. Electabuzz is Shock Beast. And yeah, I love it, and it actually inspired me to do, on my virtual console playthrough of Crystal, I basically gave all of my Pokemon like knockoff names.
That's amazing.
Sounds wonderful.
Including, of course, Shock Beast.
Shock Beast.
I don't remember all of them, and I might be misremembering some, but my like Tyranitar was something along the lines of Mountain Kaiju. My Houndoom was like Hell Dog, something like that. It's been a
Great
few years,
theming.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good thing.
I love doing Pokemon runs where you've just decided that every name has to be a theme that you've just arbitrarily decided on. They're great every time.
That was my naming philosophy for a long time, is just like come up with a theme ahead of time and then just stick with it, because a lot of times if I'm trying to just like come up with an original name on the spot kind of thing, I take too long.
Oh, killing, yeah. I had a friend make fun of me once because I was making a character on like their World of Warcraft server, and it took me like an hour to come up with a name.
Yeah, so it was kind of out of necessity that I would pick a theme. Recently I've been kind of forcing myself to go with original names and just, or not necessarily original names, but just individually decide each name, and just like whatever's the first thing that you think of that you're reasonably happy with, just stick with it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like don't overthink it. And it's been going okay.
I try to be decisive like that too, or like you and Finipede, I will just sit there forever and be like, what if I can think of a better one though? And like the answer is normally like no.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I just go with like characters from things.
That's always a good one. I've done gym leaders, and so it's always named after a gym leader of the same type. But yeah, characters is always a good one. One time I did it based on like book names. So they weren't always like, obviously it's not the title of the book in full because a lot of books have very long titles, but
Yeah.
I had like a shiny Ninetales that I named Fortunately after Fortunately the Milk.
I've never heard of that.
Fortunately the Milk is a fantastic book by Neil Gaiman.
Okay.
It's it's a kid's book, and so it's basically about the saga of a dad who went to buy milk because they didn't have any milk, and he takes forever to come back. And so when he gets back, he's like telling his daughters the story of why it took him so long.
Mhm.
And it's like I think I was stopped by pirates, and then I was abducted by aliens, and then there were these dinosaurs that were like intergalactic cops, and they showed up, and so it's just like really wild, really fun. I read it out loud to my wife. That was like the first time that we experienced it. It was amazing. And it has great illustrations, different illustrator depending on the edition, but all of the versions that I've seen have great illustrations.
I'll have to check it out sometime. I do like Coraline, so of course I'd probably like his other work too.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Neil Gaiman just in general.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend Fortunately the Milk.
Look into it.
Yeah.
Another naming convention I've heard, which I think is totally valid, is just opening up the IKEA catalog and just picking the first name that sounds good to you. Because if you're not in the know, every piece of furniture at IKEA has like a proper name. Like each shelf and each lamp has like a this is its name, and it's not like lamp. They're all like very crazy Swedish words, and they rule. They're all great names.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
I went to IKEA.
I'll have to
the
try
other
that
day,
one
and
sometime.
I picked up a Detolf, and I was telling my brother, and he's like, "Oh, I have to go there for a Kallax," and it's like, what even is IKEA?
Well, I know, because the Detolf is the one you can turn on the side to make into a hamster cage, and the Kallax is the one all the board gamers have.
Yeah.
I do not have a Kallax, unfortunately.
But it's just crazy that we can just say these weird names, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, IKEA."
Kallax sounds familiar. I can't place it, but that might be something that I have.
Oh, nice. It's a really good like shelf for just like square things, I suppose.
Is it just a shelf with a whole bunch of square slots?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's oh yeah, no, not this one, but the one we have in the bedroom. I think that's what that is.
Ah,
Nice.
they're everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, wish I had one, but there's no IKEA near me as far as I know.
Yeah,
Calyrex.
pretty close. Maybe that's where they came up with the name for it. Game Freak went to IKEA, and they're like, "We got to do this one." Our IKEA trip recently, it was tough because the closest one was like 3 hours away, but we just
Jesus.
we wanted enough Detolf, so we were like, "All right, let's just make a day out of it." So yeah, we went there with purpose.
Yeah, there's no IKEA close to where we live now, but in Greater Vancouver there are two, I believe. So we would go there for furniture fairly frequently when we lived there. Now we don't anymore, but
It's definitely a weird experience. It was my first time being there, and it's just like a labyrinth of strange furniture. And then there's all these like ads on the walls that are like, "Are you hungry? Eat in the IKEA cafeteria. Don't leave. You're here forever." And you're like, "What?"
yeah. I don't think IKEA exists in Brazil, but it's basically the same as a Toque Stock. I don't know if you have that in your part of Brazil, but in Rio, we had a store called Takishtak that was essentially IKEA. It's like same vibe, same kinds of furniture.
If I ever go to Brazil, I'll have to check it out because I had fun there.
I would not say you have to check it out, but you are welcome to if you'd like.
Well, I guess I'm old now because like I was like excited to go to the furniture store. I was like, wow, what an adventure. It's gonna be fun. And it was fun.
No, going to IKEA is fun. It's just not the kind of thing I would recommend necessarily as a like tourist destination. If you're gonna be in Brazil, there's much better things to visit than Takishtak.
Okay, it won't be at the top of my list, but I'll consider it. I definitely like the way you did the beak at this angle.
It looks great.
Yeah, that looks
wonderful.
better. I might still want to like angle the whole head a little bit, but I'm happy with what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, turning the V into like more of an eyebrow, like Sock and Throw have. I think that's great, but I'm a big proponent of big eyebrows. I think most of the designs I've done for the new one had like big eyebrows. So.
Also, now both of the designs from this pair have eyebrow.
That's true. Very different kinds of eyebrows, but yeah, eyebrow as a
still is the eyebrows.
yeah.
They just have so much personality to design. They're great.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah.
I'm not sold on the thundercloud on the tail yet, but I know it has great synergy with Infinipede's design, and I realize if you took it away, you'd kind of just have Pikachu's tail. So
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. You could do like Electivire's, Electabuzz's like regular tail and put a thundercloud on the ends, but I think what you have looks alright.
I did consider putting the thundercloud on the end. That just like I can try it, but it just didn't feel like it was gonna look good.
Yeah. I can see
the only thing I'm worried about is that I think a cloud right next to the butt kind of reads a little bit as a fart, but hopefully we can move away from that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can be mature enough.
Big farts.
Look, I'm playing Monster Rancher right now, and one of the monsters just has an attack that's a massive fart. Like, I feel like I have to mention that.
Well, I did consider the potential fart look, which is why I wanted to. I didn't make it like too small, right?
Yeah. It works for Raikou. That's a good point.
It does.
And hey, Skuntank shoots flamethrowers out of its ass in one of the games.
Not
It's
anymore.
true.
Not anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It really should though. It should.
I agree. I love the angle you put on the front foot there. The kind of tippy toe angle. Good stuff.
Thank you. I'm not convinced that it looks right, but it'll. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, I forgot how like I was very excited for Monster Rancher DX, and then I remembered my favorite monster is like locked behind one of my least favorite monsters. And I was like, whoa.
Which one is that?
Knighton is locked behind getting a Hopper to B rank, and
Oh yeah, because he's got to dig up the well, right?
Yeah. The problem is that like Hopper, like the design is okay, it's an II. The problem is Hopper, like you can hit somebody like 8 times, and then somebody like picks dust on you, and your health goes down to like 20%, and it's like, welp.
And in Monster Rancher, that means you're dead. Your
Yeah.
monster died, and you're like, great.
Yeah.
Oh, like dead. Like
yeah,
dead.
monsters die in Monster Rancher.
Not like go to the Pokemon Center. Like let's build a grave and mourn.
Yeah.
Oh, holy moly.
Though you do have to have a dead monster to unlock some of the other monsters. So. Like the possessed doll and the ghost with the top hat on.
So
I
you're
don't know.
encouraged to let your monsters die?
It's a part of life. Like, they also just die of old age.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's the kind of thing where
that's fair.
you're not encouraged to kill them, but the game assumes that if you want to unlock content, you'll be playing, so you will have had some monsters pass away at some point.
Oh yeah, the game also just has bizarre ways to unlock content, like feed this worm a bunch of gelatin, like Jello containers, and then like raise it so it's incredibly old and never let it battle, and then it turns into a beetle.
It's the kind of thing that, like, you would have to have a strategy guide or have a friend that had done it before, because there's just so many things where you're like, how would I know to do that?
Yeah. It's a very cool game, though. Like, there's nothing like it out there, the original 2 games.
Dusty, why not give it Electivire's Cable Tail? Because we're doing that's going to be paralleling what's going on with Magmar. Which, if you missed the intro to the stream, you'll see it later. But yeah, so we're doing a Thundercloud motif for Electabuzz's tail and a to fire and smoke motif for Magmar's tail.
Monster Rancher 2, if that's what Serperoil's asking.
Yeah, Monster Rancher, which is a Pokemon-like game, but you only get to raise one monster at a time, and you have to really monitor its health because they can get sick and they can die.
They get stressed and it reduces their lifespan. It's really interesting. It's very, very interesting.
It's cool, but it's less RPG and more pet sim.
It is definitely more of a pet sim, though it has like the battles and stuff, and I like games like this where it's like how well you do in the battle is based on how prepared you are.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the reasons I love the Mega 10 games, is because it's like you really have to prepare for the battles. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
For the smoke and the thundercloud, I was considering drawing it with like the swirls, kind of like what we did on Growlithe.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make it a little bit more stylized, but I was like, because we already did that on Growlithe, I was wondering if that might be, too repetitive. What do you think?
I don't know. I like it. I'm for it.
Works
Why
out,
not?
right? Especially if you're basing it on like Raijin, then that makes sense.
Okay, I'll find a good
And
configuration
I put a couple
swirls.
swirls in the smoke for Magmar just to make the smoke look a little nicer.
Yeah. Yeah, swirls just work.
Yeah, they're good.
Sure, that's good enough for now. Okay. Pretty happy with that. I think I might want to make it a little bit taller.
Like longer?
Like just elongate the torso, or like more. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the tail. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, the whole thing.
Yeah. I like it where it's at, but if you want to make him taller, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. What if I space out? What if I space out the legs more? That might also help.
talking about, yeah, that would definitely Galarian Yamask and what's the other? The upside down squid. Those are good examples of like Pokemon dipping a little into that like Monster Rancher 2 style evolution.
Yeah,
Of
sure.
unlock. Actually, when you said Galarian Yamask, it just reminds me of one of my favorite Monster Rancher monsters, Monol. Like, Pokemon fans, they complain when a Pokemon's based on an object. Monol is a wall that floats. It's
Yes.
just it's a monolith. It's a floating rectangle.
And a big
It's-
face comes out of it.
Yeah, a big face just like comes out of it and like frowns when it's sad, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry, wall. And then you can combine the wall with stuff, and if you combine the wall with the gelatin monster, it's just like it's just a wall made of gelatin. It looks like it's like an ice wall. It's so cool. I just like how derpy it is. It's
Yeah.
great.
Reminds me of a monster from, an enemy from Okami.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I forget what they're
Yeah,
called,
yeah.
but they're just a wall, and you have to hit the weak points.
Oh,
It's
I remember those
Blockhead.
guys. Yeah,
Blockhead.
Blockhead, that's right.
We had that
Yeah.
discussion about Blockhead on here a while ago, and how like I recorded the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of like monster games and wall monsters, my favorite yokai from Yokai Watch is No Way, who's just a wall with hands who stops you.
Yeah, it's funny that like Pokemon has this expectation where like I guess fans get upset when like every design isn't exactly the way they want it, but then you like look at these other monster battlers where like there's just so much more of a willingness to be goofy with it, and
Oh, yeah.
people don't seem upset as upset by that. Maybe it's because they have smaller fan bases, but
Yeah.
know.
It could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like Inkay is the squid. Yeah, Inkay is definitely like a Monster Hunter style unlock.
yeah. I've seen people being like, I don't like Gen 5 because ice cream is in it, but like no one says that about like other monster games. So
Yeah, nobody's like, I don't like that this Digimon has a gun for a chest. They're just like, haha, Deputymon.
Yeah.
It's like in other monster games, it's like people seem to appreciate them more. They're just like, it's a meme.
Maybe the secret is that everyone playing other monster games also plays Pokemon and they just love it. And Pokemon is just popular enough that it attracts everyone.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely a lot of people who play one monster game play other monster games. Like, I think the series with the least crossover is probably Mega 10, because a lot of people play Mega 10 more for the story and the, like, mythology and stuff. But
Yeah.
there
it's
is
also,
definitely still crossover.
It's also very anime and like it's funny because like so is Pokemon.
Well, Persona is very anime. Mega 10 is... I don't know. Mega 10 has not always been very anime.
Right, but like the characters are still like
Yeah. Like,
They have
especially
that
now that
style.
Kaneko is no longer the main artist. Kaneko's style was just, like, its own thing. Everyone was wearing lip liner and eyeliner.
for sure. And I guess like of course Pokemon is anime too, but I think because it's more cartoony, people don't associate it as much with a lot of like the tropiness of anime designs.
Yeah. Like,
The human characters are very anime, but I don't know that I would say like that the Pokemon designs are
yeah,
necessarily
they're more
that anime.
cartoony.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think with Mega 10, it's like you get some, like the humanoid designs tend to be very anime, but then you get stuff like Mothman, who is very cartoony, and
Yeah.
like Mara, who is a beast of its own.
Both Pokemon and Mega 10 have this thing where the humans have a very distinctive like anime style, and then the monsters go in a totally different direction, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Mothman from Mega 10 could be a Pokemon. I made a Fakemon inspired by Mothman just because it's such
Yeah.
a solid design.
I love Mothman. He's so cute.
He's adorable.
I know you've recommended that I play that game many times before. So
Oh yeah.
it'll probably happen eventually. Right now, I'm playing Emerald for the first time since Emerald came out.
Wow.
Ooh, what a treat.
Yeah, I didn't like Emerald when it first came out, right? So I'm like giving it another chance now, I guess.
Nice.
Now that it's not immediately after I also played Ruby, which I did love.
Yeah. I'm so endeared to the sprites that I love going back to old Pokemon games. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Inject the sprites into my veins.
And yeah, and then of course there's Legends, but then after that, I don't know what I'm gonna play. So maybe it'll be a new kind of monster game that I haven't tried yet.
I mean, hey, now like Megaten, Monster Rancher, and Digimon are all on the Switch, so
Yeah.
That makes it easier.
that's a good spread.
I do have we have a PlayStation 4, so like that's not prohibitive necessarily, but
Yeah.
Yeah, still.
I do enjoy playing on the Switch. So
Yeah.
Gosh, I love this Electabuzz. He's great.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with the way it looks. So I'm actually,
it's looking awesome.
aside from like refining some of the lines a little bit, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm thinking we could leave it here for now and do a first pass of Magmar.
No collars yet?
I'll just leave it here for now. We can we can get Magmar to the same stage, and then maybe we'll want to adjust or not.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the face ended up turning out a little canine, but I don't dislike that.
Yeah, it looks fine to
Oh,
me.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that Yokai Watch has basically been abandoned in the U.S. It definitely had like a lot of promise, but I think it wasn't as huge as they wanted it to be.
Yeah, I played the first two and I had a great time.
You should play the third as well. It's really solid.
Is that also out in the U.S.?
Yeah, it's on the 3DS.
Okay. What's it called?
Yokai Watch 3.
Well, that's easy to remember.
It's the one where there's the American yokai
Okay.
and the Japanese yokai. It's wonderful.
Cool.
And the battle system's pretty neat. You've got like a 9-square grid that you can move your yokai around on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy, or should I just like be looking for one when I go to Retro Store?
I think you should be looking for one. I don't think I still have my copy. I can check.
Okay. I'll look for it. I'll look around for it.
Yeah, I believe I did buy one, but when I sold it, I pirated a copy so I could. I think it might have been one of the games that I sold when I was like stranded in Pennsylvania and needed gas.
Right. I just don't love emulating DS games because a lot of times the touchscreen stuff gets funky.
Oh yeah,
so.
I don't blame you.
That's what you need a drawing tablet for.
No, I was gonna say.
I have one. It's still just weird.
I was gonna say that's what you need a soft modded 3DS for.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you have?
Yeah, it's Yokai Watch 4. That's on the Switch.
Yeah. So, do you have a pose that you like? Or I could just stick with more or less what you have.
No, definitely do. I like both the top and the bottom Magmar poses. The top one seems like it would be harder to do, for sure, though.
Yeah,
I definitely like the top one more, but... And I don't think that it would be too difficult to do, but I do worry about, like, obscuring too much of the face, and I really like the face that you have, and so putting it in an angle...
The bottom one, then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rather basic, but it kind of works with Magmortar's pose, so...
That's true. Oh, and we can also, like, move one of the arms around if you want.
Yeah, we could move one of the
Yeah. Ooh.
So... Let's get...
Now, did you imagine the fire eyebrows and shoulder blades to be like in motion fire, or is it like stiff pieces that just look like fire?
They could be in motion at the tips, kind of like how Magmars are.
Okay, cool.
Like they're they're stiff near the bottom and in motion near the top.
Yeah, that's what Magmar has, right?
Yeah. the best of my knowledge. I didn't look at anything animated,
Yeah.
but that's how it looks from the art.
Is Magmar's are Magmar's eyebrows supposed to be fire, or are they supposed to be fur, or
Yes.
something else?
Yes.
Because they're just a solid color, right? So
Yeah, but
in my design, I'm going with fire.
okay.
I do think they're in motion in a lot of the media.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think in the in-game animations they do undulate. But I don't know if there's like a fire pattern or something that they put on it that I can't remember.
Yeah. Baffling Pokemon. There's just so much going on. Like, I don't know what's going on with the arms. The duckbill just seems so out of left field.
Yeah, the arms just look like a piñata.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking before.
But it's not represented anywhere else on the design. They're just like,
It's
oh,
not. Yeah, it's just on the arms.
so weird.
I could see a Japanese helmet, yeah, but the intent is just fire brows. Just no more butthead. We don't like butthead over here.
Beavis is fine, but head out.
I have no preference.
I can't say I ever like watched that show for more than like one episode.
I never watched it.
Was it still big when you guys were growing up?
Not terribly. I think
It
I
was-
think I was a little young for it.
Yeah, we were too young when it was popular.
Yeah.
Like, I think out of like King of the Hill was never super popular. It had like a resurgence of popularity. Daria wasn't like super popular. Yeah.
Oh, I should change the concept back to say, or just to be more about Magmar now.
Yeah.
So I'll say no butthead. Uh-oh.
Yes.
So you see what my keyboard is doing? I did not do that. I did not touch the shift key to do that, but my keyboard occasionally decides that the shift, the control, or the alt keys are pressed, and it can cause some problems.
Time for a new keyboard.
It's not the keyboard. It's not a hardware problem. It's a software problem. I just have not been able to figure out what causes it because it's intermittent and it just starts out of the blue.
Bizarre.
Weird.
So no butthead. Echidna elements. Anything else I should add?
Parallels with Electabuzz.
Okay. Okay.
There's something more feminine about your redesign too. I think it's because it's got like kind of a chest, and I'm totally fine with that because
Yeah.
I kind of liked that too, actually.
I just
Yeah.
don't like, if there's one thing I don't like about Magmar and Magmortar as much as I like them, it's the egg body.
also I feel like Gen 1 Pokemon, like either they are just like animals or it's like way too feminine, like Wigglytuff or like Clefable,
Yeah.
which like nothing
But
wrong with them.
Wigglytuff is also an egg.
Yeah, there's just no like in between.
Yeah. This is an androgynous Magmar. I just didn't want it to have an egg body. I was like, why is its whole body an egg?
Yeah. I really like Magby. Magby is really cute. Like the like oversized brain looking head is a little weird, but
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me as much.
Its body shape is nice.
Yeah.
It's got like the cute eyes and like the little beaky.
Yeah, and then it just goes completely off the rails when it becomes Magmortar.
I love Magmortar.
Yeah,
just
I
wish
know
its body was
you
not-
do, but I do not. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like I really like the design. I think it's a little silly, but so is Magmar, so it works okay for me. And
it's definitely along the lines of Magmar, and in some ways it is an improvement on Magmar, but it's Magmar that you're working off of.
Yeah, so they only got so much they could.
Yeah. Okay. This is, of course, very rough just so I can figure out the proportions and the pose. So I think it needs to be more... it needs to lean more this way. Not quite as much. And I think it needs to be stockier. I know it's tricky for me to say these things when you can't see it, but...
Catching up.
Kind of what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think maybe you've got like the foreshortening on the our left arm, a little wonky.
Oh yeah, this is just to like I'm gonna redraw like all of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is just so that when I enlarge it, I have a good reference of where the limbs are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Keyboard, don't be mean to me today, please.
I feel like the most iconic thing about Magmar for me is making them fight each other in Pokemon Snap.
In the original Pokemon Snap?
Yeah, we could throw an apple at him, and if anything else got up close to him, he'd just flame it.
Neat. Proportions look okay. Arms are not too long or legs too short or anything like that.
Portions look fine.
Okay. And it's got the right height.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours does look a lot more like it evolves into Magmortar. Definitely pulls a lot of elements from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if I were to redesign Magmortar as well, I would mostly just change its body shape and maybe the pink color on the thighs because it's kind of weird.
Yeah, they always read like uncooked chicken to me.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the little chicken drumsticks.
Yeah.
That's definitely like what I like the least about Magmortar. Like, I don't particularly like its face, but I don't find it offensive.
Yeah.
But the shape of the body and the drumstick legs, I find those offensive.
Yeah, that's like, those are my two main gripes with Magmortar. But like, I love the way they did the flame pattern in kind of like stripes. I love the shoulder flames. That was definitely something I took from Magmortar. I like that the tail is just like the one flame. I like the head, a little dollop of fire up there.
Yeah.
The arms. I like the look of the face, honestly. It's a little strange, but it's really unique.
I like the top of the head. I think the lips I'm not a fan of. Too carnival.
I wouldn't really say it has lips, but yeah, the pink color on them's grabbing that from Magmar maybe might have been the wrong decision.
Yeah. All right, let me put a little bit more detail on these limbs and on the head. Start with that actually.
My monster keeps bringing, in Monster Rancher 2, it keeps bringing my trainer helper like garbage. I love having monsters that do that. Where it's just like, I brought you a boot, or like, I got you a like a fish skeleton, or like a popsicle stick.
Yeah. Do they ever bring you nice stuff?
I think some of them will bring you like little flowers. That might be
Okay.
a different game though. But like this hopper, it's like a hopper dragon, because that's probably my favorite hopper. It looks like it looks like a oni kind of. So it's like a neat little scaly eye boy.
Yeah.
But it just keeps bringing Colt like a bunch of trash. Like every season, I get at least like 1 or 2 pieces of trash, and I'm just like, you
Thank
dumb little
you.
thing, I love you. I just wish you didn't melt when you got hit by anything.
It's like when your cat brings you a dead animal and you're like, thanks.
Yeah. It also wants to play with me all the time. That's its favorite thing, but I'm trying to not spoil it too much.
That's a thing that can happen. You spoil it too much.
Oh yeah, I'm my like raising style right now is like it's super freaking spoiled. It can also be like good or bad, and depending on how good or bad it is, it can like cheat at its training and stuff. Like I said, there's not a lot of games like Monster Rancher. It's very unique. Like, and you can get different techniques if you're good or bad.
Okay.
So I'm right
Techniques,
now.
I'm guessing, are like moves kind of thing.
Yeah, different moves. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, my monster's bad, so it can pick up a specific technique, but eventually I'm gonna have to, like, make it good. So it can pick up different techniques.
Okay.
Libris, you're using the wrong thumbnail today.
Am I?
You are.
Apparently. It didn't look wrong for me initially.
I definitely changed it. It's possible that it like didn't take.
Yeah, I remember when I clicked on it, it was Electabuzz and Magmar.
Yeah,
but
same here.
it
Okay.
popped back.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I always like copy the settings from the previous stream, so I don't have to like rewrite out the description and that kind of thing. Yeah, on my end it looks right.
Weird.
But yeah, it's possible that it didn't go through the entire system or something like that.
Maybe we just picked a very drastic redesign for Scyther.
Yes, this is Scyther.
Well, if you think this is drastic for Scyther, you should see Pinsir. It's a Scyther without scythes and a Pinsir without a Pinsir. Does that
even more?
does that depart from the concept too much?
Wait, what? Asking?
No, I think he was still.
Were you still joking? It was a very, like, you sounded very,
I'm
very
there. I
serious.
understand.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading half a series of messages. There is a cat living with us right now. I say it like this because it's not ours. It's from my sister's family. They live downstairs, and now my sister has COVID. The first night their cat came to sleep with here upstairs, but now our house windows are not closed. They close, but they have space between bars in which the cat can fit through. Okay. Everybody was worried that the cat might run away. Yeah.
Doesn't run away.
No runaway kitties allowed.
Yeah. kitty sleeping on the bed.
Where are my kitties? One is probably in my office, and the other one is probably in the bedroom. That's usually where they go when they're not in the living room.
Oh, mine's in the room here with me, but he's sleeping in his bed, so... You want to sleep on you? Oh no.
Oh, my cat, the one who likes to be in the office, finally like figured out how to jump onto the table from I have a futon in the office that also serves as our guest bed when we have guests, but that's usually where she spends her time. She stays on the futon, but she finally figured out how to jump from the futon onto my desk. And so now she more regularly jumps onto my lap while I'm working and just, lies down there for who knows how long. And I love it. I love the cuddling. My legs don't love it as much.
Yeah.
I don't usually sit with like great leg posture, and so having a cat on my legs and then not being able to move my legs when they get uncomfortable, it's painful.
Ow, yeah. Yeah, my cat will, like, if I'm playing video games, like, and I'm laying on my chest and I have my arms out with the controller in front of me, he'll try and, like, get between my arms, and it's hard to play games.
Yeah. my cat, like, when she's on my lap, sometimes she rests her head on my arm, and it's adorable.
Oh, yeah.
Until, like, I'm typing, right? I have to move my arm, and then she gets upset at me for moving so much. Look, you chose this, I gotta do my work.
I have a cat that loves to sit on laps, but I sit with my legs up like a gargoyle, so no laps for her.
How could you?
It's comfy!
Yeah, but having a cat sit on your lap is better.
Then having your legs up? I don't know. Pretty comfy.
I would rather have my legs fall asleep with a cat on top of them than not have a cat on top of them.
I feel you, but I'm just too ingrained in my gremlin ways. I have to sit like this. I have to do it.
The like interplay of the head fur and the arm fur might be a bit tough to figure out in a way that both looks natural and looks good, like without obscuring too much of the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can angle the arms down if that would help.
Would you say that the shoulder flames go like behind the cheek tufts?
Oh, that's a tough question. That would probably be easiest to do, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll look good.
Yeah.
I think that'll look good behind.
Does the shape of the shoulder tufts matter much? Like, obviously it'll be like big at the bottom, pointy at the top, but the individual points, does that matter to you much?
No.
Okay. I'm just
Thank you
gonna.
for the compliments, Martin. That was all Infinipede. They had good ideas for this one. Not that they normally don't, but I really like this one.
They finally came up with something good. No.
God, finally a winner. It took a while.
That is not what we think. Okay.
I know.
And I hope that's not what anyone thinks. When I shared Pinsir and Scyther the other day, someone was like, I like them, but I think they're not cartoony enough. They're like too realistic bug, and I'm like, that's an Infinipede design.
Infinipede knows they're bugs. They gotta make them buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I like all of the Catmons. I know you're not asking me, but I like all of the Catmon. Except maybe Liepard. But
How could you not like Liepard?
It's just not impressive to me, I guess. Like it's not. It's okay. Like I think Purloin has so much sass, and Liepard's just like, I'm a leopard.
Purloin scares me when it's on two legs. It feels unnatural.
Yeah, it does feel strange.
Yeah.
It definitely feels strange.
I think it doesn't help that when it was introduced, it was like in a cute little sitting position, and
Yeah.
in the next games they're like, now it stands up, and you're like, no, sit down.
Purugly is my favorite cat Pokemon. Fight me.
Yeah, I actually like Purugly quite a bit. I'm so sorry to fans of this one, especially my husband. I'm not a really big fan of Incineroar, but it's not his fault. I think, like, if you're into wrestling and you're into bipedal cats, it's totally cool. I've just been hoping for a quadrupedal Final Evolution Firestarter for a long time, and it hasn't happened yet. So, like, probably holding.
Yeah, none of
Incineroar
them
for
are
that.
quadrupeds, are they?
None.
Yeah.
One. I don't know why they didn't. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, and like to be fair, most of the cat Pokemon are quadrupedal, so
Yeah.
going bipedal for a final evolution, like I get it, it's different. It's just because it's a fire Pokemon that I was hoping.
Yeah.
Have any fire types not been like vaguely humanoid shaped?
I mean, I think the closest you can get is Typhlosion, where like
Yeah.
when it runs, it's kind of quadrupedal, but like in every game, you're gonna get its
yeah.
standing pose when it's battling, and like it's there on two legs, so I don't really count it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because I was thinking, like, if for water types, there's like Primarina as a not a biped. There's for grass types, there's Serperior and Meganium and Torterra.
Yeah, and definitely the trend as of late too has been to make the starters more and more humanoid, and totally fine design wise. But I've just always personally gravitated towards the more like animalistic Pokemon. So
Yeah, which is why it's not totally fine. Like I don't especially like any of the Gen 8 starter designs. Like individually I'm okay with them, but they just have no variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I guess what it comes down to is like in a vacuum they're all fine, but the fact that they're all starters, it's like, well, too bad if you wanted like an animal buddy and not like a weird furry man who like hangs out with you.
Exactly. Like you need to have your animal companion so that you can be a Disney princess.
I mean, that's what I like in my starter Pokemon, and that's probably why I never pick Fire. Sorry, Fire.
I have not picked Fire. At least not as my like first starter of the first time I play the game. Not in a
Yeah.
while. I
I
played.
love Embor.
Oh, Embor's great.
Yeah,
like,
I love
enjoy-
Embor. I love Embor.
I enjoy Emboar, and there's a lot of fire Pokemon that I really like for the starters, but there's not a single generation where there's not another line that I like more than fire.
Yeah, like
Mhm. Yeah, for me, Gen 2. Typhlosion. It used to be
Typhlosion
my
works out.
favorite. Now, because Typhlosion is fairly bland, I think for Alligator takes over.
Yeah.
I still
mean,
like Quilava the best, though. Out of the middle stages, Quilava is easily better. Well, yeah, Bayleaf is better than
Quilava's
Quilava,
just a
but
small quadrupedal Typhlosion.
Maybe that's why we like it more.
yeah, and it's not as triangular.
Yeah.
I like Typhlosion being triangular.
Yeah. No, I like Typhlosion too. I know that you're not a fan of it, Libris, but of course I am a huge Meganium simp, and I was so excited to see it get the spotlight in New Pokemon Snap. I was like,
Oh,
finally, finally Meganium. But yeah, like that would be my pick in Gen 2, and like Gen 3. I'm not really picking Blaziken.
I like Delphox.
Yeah, I like Delphox too.
I don't like Delphox, but I love Braixen.
So does most of the furry community.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I
well-
like Delphox better. I'm not huge on, like, tee-hee, I'm a magical girl. I'm a fucking wizard.
Oh, like I played Pokken a few months ago, and I actually did not like breaks in there because they definitely made it like the way that they made it act is very like magical girl,
But
and
because
that's not how I see it.
Alright.
Like sure, it's like a teenage witch.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't see it acting that way.
Yeah, I guess. It seems kind of bratty to me, but hey, you can be a brat and a magical girl at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just like what I didn't like about it in Pokken was like the mannerisms,
Oh, yeah.
right? It's just like that kind of ruined it for me, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this as much as I was hoping to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like all the Gen 2 starter final Evos are a bit bland for my tastes, personally, but...
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
When people say that Meganium is bland, that's valid. Like,
I feel like it might be one of the less bland ones. Like, maybe in the middle somewhere. Like, for Alligator, I feel like is maybe the least bland, but...
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And ironically, the most bland one is my favorite. I just like Typhlosion's, like, reveal.
maybe I just like bland Pokemon, because, like, I just really
You-
enjoy Meganium.
You like simplistic designs, so...
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
So that makes sense.
I think the main thing about Meganium is not that it's bland, it's that it's disappointing compared to Bayleaf. Specifically
that
because you
impressive.
lose the most interesting element of Bayleaf and Chikorita.
I like the flower on Meganium. I just don't like how they did, like, the stamen as antenna. That's just bizarre.
Yeah, no, the
So
flower on
cute.
Meganium is fine.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. The problem is the loss of the leaf blade.
I agree. The loss of the leaf blade on the head is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there'd be a way to keep the little antenna and still add in the leaf blade and have
You
it
could
look
just
good.
have both. Like, move the antenna forward a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Or
have a
make
single leaf blade, or like what I did in my redesign was that I replaced the antenna with two separate leaf blades. But you could have still a single
Oh.
leaf blade and just have the two antenna
Yeah.
on the sides.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of things you could do to alter it, but I'll be honest, I kind of like the way it is canonically.
I do like the flower.
That-
And
that-
I like
Flower's
it's got a
cute.
nice color scheme.
Yeah, I mean like that like light green is so endearing to me. It's like
It's like
one of my favorite
it's like a
colors.
pea green.
Yeah, so pretty.
Wait, you like the green of the Pokemon?
Like,
Whoa!
green Pokemon?
What? What a surprise for me to drop. I'm terrible because I'm so endeared to green that I'll see like a terrible design, and as long as green's in there, I'll be like, well, I do kind of like it. It's green.
You know, I hate the inspiration, I hate the proportions, I really don't think this is well done, but it's green.
brain has
So,
said that.
8 out of 10.
My brain has said that, not that different before. I just see it and I'm like, ooh, color.
Do you like the model plant for Monster Rancher? It is green.
I do.
I
I
like it.
I like it more than the regular one, and it's 100% because it's green.
It's got like a gradient on it, so yeah, I like it better than the regular one too. I like the mono gel though because it's at least in 2, it's implied to be like just a block of ice.
So, there's definitely some adjustments that need to be made here. Do you think it could be shorter, like stockier? I'd like to keep the
Yeah,
sort
maybe-
of implied chest, but
Yeah, maybe in like the waist area, sure.
yeah, and I think maybe the head can be like you can have more of a neck than what it has now.
Yeah, definitely. Give it more of like original Magmar's neck size.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's looking great.
Yeah, I agree. Oh no, Martin brought up that some green shinies are not great. Martin, I'm so genuinely biased towards the color that like I know there's a lot of them that could be better shinies, but I still see them and I'm like, perfect.
There's a lot of green shinies that are boring, but they're not boring because they're green, and they're boring because they are boring versions of green.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of green shinies that are really good. I love Espeon, for example.
Yeah, green
Yeah.
Espeon is fun.
And don't worry, there's plenty of people on the internet that share that sentiment that most of the green shinies are bad, but
Yeah.
when I see that I like jump in the comments and I'm like, no! Stop it. I'm a huge fan of Stantler, and it is just atomically disgusting, but I love it. What a
I know
baby.
we've told the sick Stantler story on here before. It's still like my favorite thing that White has ever done.
Oh no, I like Shiny Tauros, chat. I'm sorry. It's got multiple shades. I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, the green shiny talk comes up pretty commonly on here.
Yeah,
This is a very pro-green panel.
you can blame me for that one.
Dragonite's just kind of it's not the shade of green, it's just the combination of the green and the other shades of color on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks too really like the pink Dratini and Dragonair too, which
Yeah.
makes
That's the
green
other
going up.
thing. It's the disappointment that it's not a beautiful pink Dragonair anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I defend Dragonite, but it would have been cool to have like a Serpentine.
Yeah.
It's a moldy cow. Don't be mean.
Womp booming.
Shiny Crobat's good. It's a nice color combo.
I love Shiny Crobat. It was my first like random shiny in Gen 3. Well, not Crobat, but Zubat. And I don't know if if it wasn't a random shiny and like, you know, if I didn't have that like connection to it back in the day, I don't know if I would like it as much, but I love it.
It's funny to hear people go to bat for Shiny Crobat, but hate on Dragonite, because of course they're the same color scheme. It's just Crobat's got the pink body and the green wings, and
Yeah.
Dragonite's got the green body and the pink wings.
Yeah. I think they're different shades, though.
They are different shades,
Well,
definitely.
Yeah.
different. I want to say it's like more of an avocado on Crobat, and like Dragonite's more of a swamp, but
Yeah.
it's similar.
Yeah, Dragonite's like an olive.
The back spines are gonna be pretty hidden. Is that okay?
Fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can see 2 of them down there, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna redraw the shape of the body, just to. I don't think I can fix it just by distorting the lines I already drew, but
Yeah, no, it's all good.
it's close.
I've got such brain rot that I can hardly weigh on this because some people will be like, "Oh, most green shinies are great, but this one," and I'll be like, "No, I love that one." Don't worry, I know that I'm broken.
You're not broken.
I know that I'm very biased. One shiny I do hate. I do hate shiny Bruxish. I think it is.
A Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my god.
You still have that, right? Like in your bank?
I do still have that.
I like it. I mean, I don't like Bruxish, so it's not a huge difference for me. But I think it's the like Christmas color scheme. I think it works.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's very funny.
It hurts my eyes. It's a saturated disaster. But
Yeah.
again, if you like
Sure.
like clowns, I can see where it would appeal to you.
Well, like I said, I don't like Bruxish, so it like the shiny is not good enough that it's gonna make me go out and use Bruxish.
Yeah.
But I think it works better than the original color scheme.
I like the original a lot more.
Original works better.
Yeah.
Probably because it's like the Italian flag, but with like yellowy white instead of white.
And you know how much I just hate Italy.
Yeah, if people don't know, the guy I was dating at the time told me about his idea to get Banana Meteor, a shiny Bruxish named Jar Jar Binks in a ball that didn't match.
Uh-oh.
And so I actually went and I did it.
Yeah. I do still have it.
And you're
It's,
still friends.
It's the
I
worst.
told Banana Meteor that she could get me the equivalent someday.
Yeah, it's the worst gift I've ever received, and thank you. Beautifully horrible.
Yeah.
And of course, just really subtle shinies. Well, they don't like offend me. Like I understand the loss of an opportunity on most of those, like Zapdos and Glaceon and Garchomp, stuff like that.
Like, Glaceon's a fine one, in my opinion. Like,
I like Glaceon. Glaceon is just like up the contrast a bit, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's no Shedinja, which you cannot take, like, you can't put them side by side. In like, the sprite form, you could, and you're like, okay, there's a difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now you can't do it anymore, so.
I really like the subtle shinies where it's just like one element changes color drastically, but most of it is very similar. Like
Yeah,
Aron, for example.
Yeah.
Aron with red eyes looks really cool.
Yeah, I kind of like those too.
Yeah. But like Sentret, where it's just like it's slightly paler. That's just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this look?
Looks great
I'm
to
liking
me.
how that looks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I liked, back in the old Sprite days, I really liked, West Sea Gastrodon's shiny, because it went from, like, like a kind of normal pink to like this cute pastel baby pink, and I'm like, oh, it's such a cute snail. But now the only difference is like something on its shell is green, and it's like, well, I still have slow down my competitive Gastrodon. So.
Yeah. Castform brought up Garchomp and Gengar, and one thing that I really like about those examples is how the Mega Evolutions really did drastic changes for the shiny. But then of course they got rid of Mega Evolutions, so whoopsie, doesn't matter anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we don't have the Megas anymore, but the Gigantamax is still white, so.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. George knows says Sentret is not yellow and pink. Furret is pink, but Sentret is just pale. Yeah. Sentret is just a Sentret that got scared.
Oh my god, I'm doing in MR2. I'm doing the Ima Fimba meet, and they put me up against a golem. Time to die.
Great.
Like, if you guys don't know anything about Golem from Monster Rancher, he's like the size of a house.
Oh.
And he hits like a truck, and my character is an eye with dragon wings, so I'm dead. The good thing is it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you still unlock the monsters. So.
Yeah.
Do I want to give Sproing advice during the battle? Nope, you're on your own! Too bad.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to Electabuzz. I don't think that there's anything we need to change about either of them at this point.
I think the only thing I see on Magmar is I would like to see
Magmar.
where the tail goes behind the leg. I would like to see that just match up with the bottom portion of the front body.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
I just kind of rotated the tail a little bit so that the curve of it will better match. I just didn't redraw the curve because I didn't think it was necessary before I go to the next level.
You're good then. You're good.
Yep.
But yeah, so Electabuzz. You said you thought the snout was a bit canine. And I agree. I was thinking just like maybe if we just change the teeth to be more like the outward pointing teeth that Electabuzz original has, maybe that helps.
Maybe.
You could try.
Yeah, if you have any other ideas. I'm gonna change the description back to. What was there? Can I just... If I hit undo, does it actually...
I think moving back the stripe and putting in the dot nostrils might help a bit, because I think right now the stripe kind of reads as the tip of a black nose, but I'm not sure. I'll have to see it.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not...
it kind of does.
I could see that. I was not imagining the stripe actually going all the way to the nose, but I can see the way that looks now. Oh, and the other thing is that, like, it kind of looks, because of the way that I drew it for constructing it, it does kind of look like there's going to be, like, a separate color between the snout and the head, because of that line there. That's not going to be there. It's just going to be all the same yellow.
Yeah. As long as the nostrils are obvious, I think it'll look fine. And oh my god, Julie, I won!
Congrats!
I won by, like, 25% of health.
You did it.
I didn't even do it. I just let the monster do it on his own.
Courtney in chat said that Magmar is based on the blue-footed booby. Is that true? I don't even think
blue feet.
I don't think that's true.
No, but it has like because I don't think that it's fully based on it, but it does have some inspiration from it because it has kind of birdie elements. And Magmar's name in Japanese, I believe, is Booba.
Yeah,
and,
but it's
and
not...
Magby is Booby, so it's like the name is there. So
that's like the only element though, that and the beak. like I would say like it's got like elements from multiple things.
Yeah, so
its name is-
I see it as being in there. I would not
It's
say
in
that
there,
it's
but
based
it's
on
not
it.
It's not based on it. Yeah, its name is Booba, but it could be based on the beloved children's series Booba.
I knew its name was Boober too, and I've never even made that connection because I feel like the most iconic thing about the blue-footed booby is of course its blue feet and like
the booby also doesn't have boobs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Magmar isn't a bird.
Yeah, so anyway, like that's why I didn't like say, hey, Ness, we should have done this as a bird and not an echidna, but yeah, I felt like someone was gonna bring it up. I just want to say thank you for Ethan for sending a cross-platform raid. So Ethan was streaming on Twitch, and of course, if you don't know Ethan from Chicago, the luxury patron of this channel, you should definitely go check out his streams. Maybe I can actually get a link and put it into the chat. So welcome Ethan, welcome Charon, Saturn Galleon, welcome. You were busy. Charon was busy racing with Ethan. Oh yeah, he was playing Mario Kart, right?
Ooh, spicy. Well, no worries. Who won though? I need to know. I need to know who to refer to as the proper Mario Kart champion. And of course, I didn't mean to offend anyone by not making the booby connection, but I've never viewed Magmar that way.
Yeah, me neither. Like I knew its name was like Boober, but like I don't know, it's got boobs on its head.
Yeah, Mandabuzz's name is Volgina. Could have meant anything.
There you go. If you use Twitch, definitely go check out Ethan's streams. They're very, very chill. Maybe slightly less chill when it's a competition, but but he's been doing shiny hunting, and he occasionally plays like Zelda games as well. So lots of good stuff.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Mario Kart tournament at like the local gaming bar on my birthday. So.
Ooh, Mario Kart's so
Is that your
fun.
party?
No, I suck at Mario Kart.
Oh.
I'll have to show up for Ethan's next Mario Kart stream because I dabble. I can hang with the big boys.
Yeah, the only racing game I'm any good at is Supersonic Tank Cats, and that's because my cat is in it.
The way you said I dabble there, Banana Meteor, made it sound like you maybe more than dabble.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the case, but that's just the way you put it. That's what.
We'll have to see how I fare if I show up.
All right, let's see if we can fix this snout to just make it a little less doggy.
Yeah, Volgina is rough.
Yeah.
That's about all I have to say about that.
I mean, that's a name in Japanese, right? So
Yeah.
it is
Still,
a vulture and a Regina, as in queen. So
We should just get back at them and just like name a English version of a Pokemon like Monko. Just be like, gotcha, Japan.
how's that? Does that look less like a dog?
Yeah, to me.
A little bit. cast form. You and me, we're going to Ethan's tournament next time. We'll bring it.
Be right back.
Oh, Gina. Yeah, I don't know if that's better? I guess a little.
Oh, I never finished, like, actually writing the description. I got distracted.
Sorry. We had booby controversy in chat.
Okay, that's better.
There we go.
Did you guys see what Courtney said about Magmar being based on Karuda?
Yeah, someone else
I
mentioned
had not
in
seen
chat
that, but I
earlier.
do also know about that.
Yeah, that's definitely one that what someone else brought up. It's funny because Magmar has all these different inspirations, and I feel like it's got so many things coming from so many places that like none of them shine through. It's just like this charcuterie of nonsense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's like it's not that those elements aren't in there. It's just hard to say that it is like based on that when it just
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't do a
I
good
did
job
see-
of showing through, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done.
Okay. I did see what you said about Magmar being based on Karura, Cinnamon Sugar Courtney. If you want to design a bird Magmar, by all means, nobody is stopping you. Magmar is a mess, and I just went with what I thought would be wise.
And the echidna works across both species, so that's a bonus too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I
good way
don't
to
mean to
kinda put
sound
it together.
rude. I'm just saying, like, I did not go into it like intending to like. I don't know. It just does not read bird at all to me. I understand those may have been inspirations for it. And I wasn't going to give it bird aspects if like there's nothing on the original design that reads bird. It's not a flying type. Like, I just went with what I thought, like, okay, this is what Magmar looks like, here's how we can, like, modify it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I got into a minor tiff with someone on the internet once because I didn't know that Pikachu was apparently based on a squirrel, not a mouse. So that got me into trouble, I guess.
Does not make sense to me, but.
Yeah,
Well, it is
that's what I said.
It is absolutely true, though.
Yeah.
Like it's been described in interviews from the person who designed Pikachu. So
What the fuck
Yeah.
are those people smoking?
So like someone had to link me to that interview and be like, "Oh, excuse me," and I was like, "Well, shit."
no, I'm like I don't
This
think
is-
that
Pikachu is a squirrel, Magmar is a bird, like, what were they on?
for the record, I don't think that Pikachu looks more like a mouse than a squirrel. A squirrel definitely makes sense. It's like storing electricity in its cheeks like it would nuts or whatever.
I would think like a hamster, but with a lightning bolt tail instead of no tail.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's got inspirations from different places, and it is a yellow rodent. And that's
Yeah.
what we know.
Yeah, but like the thing is that a lot of people think, oh, Pikachu is based on a Pika because of the English name, and that's not where the name comes from.
Yeah.
People think Pikachu's based on a mouse because in the Pokedex it's called the mouse Pokemon, and like that's not what it was designed as, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently
Classic
it's a squirrel.
Pikachu reads more
Apparently.
mouse. The body shape, definitely, for the classic Chew.
I think what it boils down to at the end of the day is Pokemon have all these elements just pulled from different places. They're an amalgamation of many things, and sometimes people tunnel a little too hard on one thing, and they put it in their mind. They're like, it's absolutely this. And like, no, they're all Pokemon.
Yes, and sometimes people read it on
Yeah.
Bulbapedia and assume that that's the absolute truth.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had no idea what Magmar was when I even started. Like,
Yeah.
I just rolled with, like... I just rolled with I just rolled with an Echidna because I'm like, what can I, like, use to kind of center this design that makes sense?
Yeah.
And that made the most sense, because, like, it does not look like a bird to me.
Yeah.
Like, the only bird-like aspect of it is the beak, in my opinion. Like, the arms do not look like feathers, they look like pinata pieces.
No, I agree. It is very vaguely bird-like.
Yeah, it's like, the beak is the thing that would be like, okay, yeah, it's the bird. But,
Yeah, it can get tricky when we're doing these redesign streams because sometimes we remove the element of something that someone completely leaned into. They're like, that was
Yeah.
my favorite thing about it. And it's like, well, we can't please everyone.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, go make your own!
I'm sure that'll happen when I do. I think my next one coming up is Magikarp and Gyarados. And,
Oh yeah, speaking of that, because we skipped December and we at one point talked about doing a double stream this month, and so that would be Lapras and Tauros adding on to this stream, but. I did not forget, but I did notice that it would have been 2 designs for me and 2 designs for Infinipede, so I figured actually combining Lapras and Tauros with Magikarp and Gyarados would actually work better, so it's basically one concept for each of us.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We could do that. We could do that if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm open to it.
Lapras is one I'm really excited to do. Like, I'm very, very excited for Lapras.
Yeah.
Cool.
Libris, by the way, I love what you're doing with the hands. They do read as plugs and claws the way you're doing
Yeah,
them.
That's
the
great.
shape is perfect.
Yeah. In one of my earlier sketches pre-stream, I did consider putting the like hole in it, just like in the horns, but I think it actually works better without them.
Yeah, I don't think it
it
needs
works
it.
fine.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I interrupted you, Banana Meteor. You were going to say something about what you were going to do with Magikarp and Gyarados.
Oh, something that will offend people.
Oh.
I'm curious. I hopefully won't be offended.
Okay.
You already have your idea?
I have a concept, and I know what you really like about them, Libris, is how different they are, and I'm not going to do that as much. So...
Well, I like how different they are, but they still look like a pair because they have design elements that are the same across both, like the crown shape and
Right.
the mouth shape, things like that. So
For sure, for sure.
yeah, but I'm not like super attached to their design in any way.
Okay. Hopefully you won't kick me off of the stream crowd.
I'm only
To
attached
offend
to
people with Lapras.
I'm only attached to how successfully I think they managed to do 2 very different designs that still look like they belong together. Although I
have
know a lot of people don't think they belong together.
Yeah, I have conflicting feelings about that. I see where you're coming from, but I don't necessarily feel that way about it.
That's okay. You can be wrong sometimes.
Only sometimes.
I think I have to change the angle of the fingers on the second hand so that it makes sense. It needs to be more on its side.
Yeah, so it's like more coming towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get you. Gosh, I love this one. I keep saying that, but great.
Well, I'm not going to tell you to stop.
Yeah, we both did a pretty good job on this one, I think.
I think so.
Libra's here, like, my designs are great and your designs are wrong. Keep saying it.
It's not that your designs are wrong, it's just the approach is wrong.
I like how blunt we are on stream.
That's what you get when you're friends with people.
Sure.
You don't have to sugarcoat your disagreements. Let's see. Does that look right? I think it needs to be longer, but it looks close.
Yeah, Jinx is definitely has much clearer inspirations.
Yeah.
Than, these two.
I kind of back in the day thought of them as a trio, but then Sinnoh had to be like, well, never mind, Jinx doesn't get an evolution, so that sort of recontextualized that in my mind.
Yeah, and they never really were if you kind of think about the typings. Jinx is a dual type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Magmar and Electabuzz have stats that reflect each other. I don't remember exactly what the distributions are, but like they have similar stat distributions, whereas Jinx has something completely different. Okay, that's looking good. I'm happy with that.
We did Cinnamon Sugar Courtney. We did Jinx and Mr. Mime together. I don't know if you were there for that stream, but so we kind of paired those two together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't pair them as like counterparts in like concept.
No, but
they are very similar. they turned out very similar too.
Yeah, they were kind of fun. I had a good time doing that one. I think a lot of people were upset I didn't push it a little further with like a beret, but I like what I did.
yeah, I don't feel like Jinx was intended as a part of a trio. I used to, but given like the stat disparities, the gender lock that came with Gen 2.
Back in the day was less obvious that they were different. Like if you looked at the stat distributions and if you considered the type difference, that like that might have been enough for you to be like, I don't think so, but I don't know, it doesn't feel as obvious as what happened since then.
It's definitely become more obvious,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's enough different there's enough differences even going back to Gen 1 that it's like, okay, yeah, this probably wasn't intended this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Gen 2 threw us all off with Smoochum.
Yeah.
That didn't help,
that's
for
where I
sure.
was really like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it was, of course, that like these three were next to each other in the decks, and like the legendary birds shared the typing. So like I can see it. Then they really like solidified that like no, and also we're never doing anything with Jinx again because whoops, we made a bad one.
I just want an evolution for Jinx, who's just like a cool like mountain witch. and
Yeah.
not racist.
Yeah, right?
They could also just make a regional variant for Jinx that's like not supposed to, like, I don't know. They could do something fun with Jinx. Like, I get why they wouldn't want to, but I feel like there's ways you could do something fun with Jinx and not like upset anybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Or like not upset like 90% of people. Some people will always be upset with Jinx. It's
Yeah.
just how those people are. Yeah,
I agree
Jinx
with
should
everyone. I agree with everyone in chat. Yes, Jinx needs something.
Does this
probably
look
won't ever
enough
get
like
it.
a Power
Yeah,
Ranger
just-
lightning bolt?
Oh my god, a Baba Yaga Jinx would be amazing. Sorry, what about the lightning bolt?
Does it look enough like a Power Ranger lightning bolt?
It looks fine, yeah.
Glad that we elected to get rid of the Shrek ears.
I kind of like the Shrek ears because they make me think of like those like Frankenstein electrode things.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
based on what are they called?
I don't remember what they're called.
They're based on an electric thing.
Yeah.
I know what they look like, and the name
Those,
is
like,
escaping me. So
Rod things. Yeah, there was a boss in World of Warcraft that had those. That's all I remember. I don't remember what they were called, but
It's funny because they
oh,
don't.
Tesla coils.
Yeah,
yeah,
there we
yeah,
go.
there you go.
It's funny because they don't really bother me on Electivire, but maybe that's because it doesn't have the hair tuft too. It gets a little busy on Electabuzz, I think.
I have the hair tufts between the two plugs.
Oh no, you're fine. You made your hair tuft very very small and mine.
Yeah, the hair is smaller. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it spiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I just gotta give it some colors. Anything that you think I should do differently?
No. I think you even made the butt cloud look a lot less farty. So
Yeah. Looks fine to me.
I think it's all good. I like the pose you chose. It's a good guy.
Not a guy, a shock beast.
It's a good shock beast of
It's a very good shot.
of a non-specific gender.
All right. Well, in that case, let's put some colors on it. I have no reason to stick to more or less the original colors. Might like adjust the specific yellow or something, but originally I was thinking that the eyes would be red like Electivire's, but if we're gonna put blue on, I'm thinking the stripes on the arms and the legs. Maybe the eyes can be blue too. Electabuzz looks cool. Good, looks good. Thank you. I was very happy, like from a very first sketch. I was happy with my idea for the body shape, for the tail, for the markings. I had a slightly different conception for the horns, but I was happy with that too. And I just hated the face. So I'm glad that in the end, there's a face that I actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Maybe it being a little bit canine helps it be more of a shock beast rather than a shock man.
Yeah.
Evolves from shock boy into shock beast.
Actually, I wonder what the Chinese names for Elekid and Electivire are. Because sometimes, obviously, I don't speak Chinese, so I'm just judging by the translations on Bulbapedia. But like sometimes the names in Chinese or even in Korean, sometimes they're original names, like Shock Beast, and sometimes they're just like transliteration of the Japanese or of the English name. And then it's kind of boring. It just like loses all meaning.
Yeah. I know there was some like controversy among like Chinese Pokemon fans when they put out like official Chinese names for the Pokemon. It was a while back.
Yeah,
And like some of the names changed, and the Chinese fans were like, "No, put it back."
yeah. If I remember correctly, it was like a difference between like the Cantonese and the Mandarin names.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But because this was when the games were first localized into Chinese, right?
Yeah,
And I think it was only one of the two. I don't remember which one.
I don't remember either.
Yeah. And so it was just like, well, in the game now it is known as its Mandarin name, and all the Cantonese fans are upset, or it was the other way around, but it was something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when just Pokemon Japanese names would come out way before English names, and Infinipede, I remember you were devastated when Perugly got its English name because it's mean.
Oh.
It's just a mean name.
Yeah, there's a couple Pokemon that I still have an easier time, like Gen 4 Pokemon, where I often like remember their Japanese names first.
Yeah. Same, because like if you were just like in the communities and you were referring to them like for like 6 months before the games got localized, like that was what you were calling them.
Yeah.
Ah, the good old days. When we would find out everything that was in the game before they came out.
Yeah.
The only things that were left to discover were what the names would be.
You could still say, you could still stay like pretty unspoiled if you wanted to.
I mean, you could, but like all that stuff was already on Cerebi.
Yeah, but you could just not look at Cerebi if you didn't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was funny when the Gen 5 starters came out, but they didn't give them names, and everyone called the Pig Knight, which is great because like they got it, but they just got the second evolution instead. So
I remember Smugleaf.
there was Smugly,
Yeah,
Pig Knight, and Water.
Water, yeah. I was gonna say Sobble. I'm like,
Oh,
no, that's real dumb.
I don't remember. I don't remember water being that common, but I definitely used water.
Yeah, water was pretty common.
Yeah. I still look at Snivy and I'm like, oh yeah, Smugly.
Yeah. Smugleaf is a pretty good name.
Yeah, it is good. Burn for Cinderace is cool.
Yeah, 8-1.
I think it's funny when they localize stuff like that, because, like, Aceburn could very well be its English name. That's, like,
Yeah.
the same.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I found out just the other day on, I think it was on Charon's stream, the German name for Sinistea is Fatality.
Oh,
It's so good.
great! Why didn't we get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sinistea is still good, but like Fatality is so much better.
Yeah, I would have just named mine Finish Him.
Yeah, I will say that Poltegeist is perfect, so I'm glad that we got that, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Is oh, the music is playing. Okay. I glanced at my stream settings and I saw no music, so I must have just glanced at it when it was between songs or something. I was like, have we been streaming this whole time? I put the music on, but it hasn't worked ever. Okay, so now I need to pick a blue that'll look good on the eyes and on the stripes. Maybe I'll start with the red and I'll just convert it to blue, like the red from Electivire.
Yeah.
I'll just hue shift it into blue.
I like the blue.
Cool blue for the eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The only thing that I want to consider is if maybe the cloud should be black instead of gray.
I would like to see it.
Yes, I will try it.
Yeah.
We didn't color one of the claws, but I'm sure you're
I
getting there.
missed a claw. Oh, I did. Oh, I missed the hands. The
Yeah,
top
you
hand.
missed,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think? Black or gray on the?
I like the black.
It's pretty lateral for me. I think I prefer black as well. But I'm not gonna be offended if you like gray more.
Yeah, they're both fine.
I agree. They are both fine. I think maybe I might like the gray more just because then there's more gray elements rather than just the claws.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can stick with the gray. I think it does make the tail feel more like part of it, I guess, because it's not so dark that it feels disconnected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that better. Anyone in the chat have strong opinions? Gray complements the design better. Yeah.
Chat's just happy I didn't tell you to make it green.
There you go.
Whoa!
How's
Reminds
that?
me of like
Could
worse.
be the shiny.
Could be the shiny. When you were rotating the color, it reminded me of those old like forum signatures on Cerebi. Where, like,
Oh
there
yeah.
was, like, rainbow Pokemon.
Yeah.
That.
I remember those.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm very happy with the way that looks. So let's move on or move back to Magmar. I'll clean up the lines and then we'll add colors to it. Did you have nostrils on it? I can't remember.
I do.
Okay.
I don't know if I love that you can see the little bit of the cheek behind the snout. Just because it's so subtle that it almost seems like a weird shape on top of the nose.
You mean like the side of the beak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I would just change the angle up so you wouldn't see that.
Fine.
Into that nitpicky line art.
How dare you? How dare you be nitpicky on the Umbreon Libris channel?
Need to agree with all the design decisions that are made and nod and say, yes, it's perfect.
That's what you're here for.
Positive feedback only.
You mean specifically this part, right? That I'm now toggling on and off.
Yeah, I do mean that part, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what she means. That's what I think. Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's a little better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it looks fine.
It was just one of those things where it's technically correct, but just artistically weird.
Yeah, it happens. Like, there's a lot of stuff in official Pokemon art that, like, if you really think about it, it's like the perspective is wrong, but it looks better than if you actually like did it right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting that Magmar used to have 4 fingers, and then they said, whoops, we can't do that, it's Japan. Now it has 5.
I like how that used to be something that they would change. Like, that they would just be like, you know what? This design isn't quite working with this element. Let's change it. Or they'd forget and accidentally draw an extra finger on Kadabra and then have to erase it.
I love that art.
Yeah.
Guru says, I stepped away for a couple minutes, so Electabuzz changed in a major way for me.
Oh, well, hopefully it's looking good, honey. Indigo is my wife, or Kuru Pendant is Indigo, who is my wife.
Yeah.
To be
I don't
clear.
know, maybe you just call your fans honey. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
I had a similar feeling to that once where I was watching Space Jam, but I started watching like halfway through. And early in the film, they established that Bill Murray's a character when he like golfs with Michael Jordan. But it's like one scene. They're just like, oh, Bill Murray and Michael Jordan are friends. And I had forgotten that scene was in the film since I was halfway through, and like Bill Murray just shows up at the basketball game at the end, and like it's way weirder if you forgot he was in that movie. Where you're like, Bill Murray's in this? What?
This is not a complaint, but where did Space Jam commentary come from?
Oh, it came from Indigo commenting that Electabuzz changed in a major way, how they stepped away and just something was totally different.
Okay, yeah.
And that just reminded me of a time where, like, without the context of watching the film, it just got weirder because things changed. Yeah, him reappearing was great, but for me, he just appeared.
Well, it might have worked better if you were like paying attention.
No. I just didn't see that. I walked into the movie when it was halfway done. Oh, don't worry, Indigo. It's supposed to be a Magmar design.
Yeah,
I don't know at what point you were here before, Indigo, but we're designing the two of them together, and so we've kind of alternated back and forth. Electabuzz is done now. And
Speaking of Space Jam, did you guys like New Legacy? It's grown on me personally. No, but I don't want to invalidate your opinion if you liked it.
I haven't watched it.
I was able to. I didn't feel too bad because I was able to see it for free because I just had a friend's HBO Max info. But it's less of a Looney Tunes film and more of a hey, we're Warner Brothers. Here are all our properties film.
Oh,
It's
like
very strange.
Ready Player One kind of deal.
Very similar to Ready Player One.
Which I also didn't watch for that matter, but yeah.
Yeah. There was just so many weird things that I was like, why is this in a Space Jam movie? Like when it focuses on like Rick and Morty for like 30 seconds and like Rick talks to you and like the Clockwork Orange thing in the background in the game and how you go into the Matrix universe. I was like, this is for kids, right? Like
Is it though? Or is it just for nostalgia?
I think it's meant to be marketed towards adults who like enjoyed Space Jam 1, but also were watching it with their kids. And like,
okay.
it was very strange. It sounds like I'm just making things up, but like, no, all those happen in the movie. Foghorn Leghorn rides one of Daenerys' dragons and looks into the camera and says, I say, winter is coming. That's a real thing that happened, and I wasn't sure if I was having a fever dream or not.
Well, maybe you weren't, but it sounds like the writers or the studio was.
I could definitely see a situation where you enjoyed it ironically, but as someone who was trying to watch it genuinely, I was exhausted like halfway through.
Julie, who is your favorite Battletoad?
My favorite Battletoad is Rash.
Okay. I just trying to Frog Hopper, and it needs a name, so there you go.
Okay. he's the one that wears the sunglasses.
Alright, I know nothing about Battletoads.
He's definitely the goofiest one.
Alright. Perfect, because he's like a hopping, like, frog monster now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't get it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I didn't reach B rank with my first hopper, so I have to try again.
Can you get the frog hopper on Switch?
Oh, you can get everything on Switch. They've even made it so you can get the like monsters that would ambush you at the end of Errantry.
Oh.
You can unlock them. You can also get like Moo and stuff that wasn't originally available in the US.
What do you input to get frog hopper? Because you can't put Gex 3 into your console.
Oh, there's a couple of different, the way you input stuff is they have like a list of, I guess they're like Japanese CD, or song artists and titles, and you put them in, and, some of them give you different monsters. So, there's a list on legendcup.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing related to, Gex, unfortunately, but just one of them's Gob by Gob.
Ooh.
One
Is
that a phone call?
Yeah, I think it's a phone call. Then Centipede's getting. Castform says, I didn't like it as much as the first, of course, but I feel like if I looked at it too critically, I'd miss the point. I find immense ironic enjoyment of both. I feel you. I feel what you're saying there. I think the first one, I just kind of resonated with the jokes and the universe more. Like, it's still a silly crossover story, but it didn't feel like it was trying to, like, sell me something like the new one did. It's also notable that it's a movie called Space Jam, and in the second one, they don't go to space, and also the music isn't very good. So it's neither. There's no space, there's no jam.
Serious question. Was Space Jam ever a good movie?
No, but
I haven't watched it in a long time, so I can't have an opinion about it.
You can't go in too seriously, but it's always been like kind of campy in a fun way. It definitely developed a cult following because of how weird it is, I think.
Okay.
But I think
it's just one of those, we liked it because we were kids, and we
yeah.
not just didn't think critically about it, but we couldn't.
Right, but I think the sequel, personally for me, tries to capitalize on the things that weren't what I loved about the original.
Yeah,
and if you like it, totally fine. Don't let me be a Debbie Downer on it. I haven't seen Free Guy. I know people in chat were talking about that too. I know that one of the posters utilized Ryan Reynolds in a Mario 64 pose, and that very much appealed to me because I love the N64, but it's literally the only thing I know about it. Is it worth checking out?
I have heard good things about it, actually. But I have not watched it, so... Don't worry, I'm just blindly trying to find the layer that I need. Ah, forget it. There you go. That's the one. I think this leg sticks out too far, so I'm gonna move it.
Okay. God, the stream's just me showing up and being like, I think children's media could be better.
Yeah, we could put on Free Guy. Is it on the Netflix, Disney Plus, whichever one?
Yeah, we'll have to find out what streaming service it's on. A poly positive. This chat is very poly positive.
Yeah.
It's a very different thing, but
Yeah.
in this case, I know that you meant poly positive as a good thing. But I feel like all of those like Debbie Downer and Nosy Nancy, all of those, they all have negative connotations, and so like poly positive just makes me think of someone who's like toxic positivity impersonated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. An enabler.
Yeah.
It's always rough to be too critical on media because, like, I don't want to make people feel like their opinion doesn't matter if they enjoyed it. Like, if you got something out of it, that's valid.
Yeah. We don't invalidate people's opinions here. Unless they're wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're three very opinionated folks, so I feel like
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression.
Who are you calling opinionated? All right, I think that is it. Anything that I need to adjust?
No, it looks good to me.
Oh, that's what you were going for with poly positive. All right.
To gas it up too much.
All right, so colors. I'm gonna pull up that sketch of yours.
You can definitely work from one of the Magmar colors. That sketch is again just me working with the markers I own.
Oh yeah, no, but I need it for reference of what color goes where.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Just making sure you know it's limited by what markers I have.
Yeah. Is there a particular Magmar color you like? I like the Magby for the pink.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the top Magpie specifically, I really like for the pink.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for Magmar, is there one that you like better?
I think either the top or bottom is fine. I think I like the top yellow better, just because it's. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah, the very bright yellow.
Yeah, I like that bright yellow.
Okay.
Serper Royal says, looks great! Now make it green. You're my kind of person, Serper Royal. Is there any green fire types? I'm thinking about it now.
Green fire.
Green fire? I don't know. How about that?
Yeah, no, I can't think of any either.
Me neither.
Like not even a shiny
Be.
comes to mind, so.
Yeah, well, there should be.
Probably is, I'm just not thinking of it. I think green fire could work really well on like a dark type.
For sure.
Like a
Yeah.
fire dark.
Yeah.
Oh, Nummel. Nummel has
Yo, yeah.
a little bit green. Nummel? Nummel?
It has green on it. I would not call it a
Yeah.
green fire
No,
type, but
It's an accent for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an accent color, but it still has green on
it has a hill. It has some vegetation on it. That's all.
it.
Is that the intent? Is it supposed to be kind of like a dormant volcano?
I think so.
And, like,
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. At least that's how I've always interpreted it. So.
I don't know why I never interpreted it that way. I think I just like felt it was like just a colored marking. Well, of course it is, but
Yes. In one way of looking at it, it is just a colored marking. In another way of looking at it, it's a hill.
yeah.
I only know Pollyanna is like a song from one of the Mother games. I never knew it was a book.
Yeah, Hafa, is that a character, like, is that book a book that Americans would know? Because the expression of being a Pollyanna is something that I hear all the time in Brazilian media, as like being someone who's overly positive or optimistic. But I don't know if
not a cultural touchstone for us, but it's interesting to know the backstory.
Yeah. Term before, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Alolan Marowak is green fire.
Yeah, and that is like what the spooky fire.
That's true. Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's the kind that we were talking about.
Good for calling that out, though. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I hear that expression all the time in the like Brazilian politics podcasts that I listen to.
Oh, interesting.
Every time they say something vaguely positive, they're like, I don't want to be a Pollyanna because, you know, this place, the state of this country is not good. But
Bye, Indigo.
Bye,
Thanks for stopping
Indigo.
by.
who's the author of Pollyanna? I would look it up, but I am otherwise engaged.
You're not engaged. You're married.
Yes. Correct.
Dad jokes hour now.
Eleanor H. Porter. Not a name that stands out to me.
Does not ring any bells for me either.
For the orange, you said you like the one at the top, right?
I kind of like the one at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I just like the brighter yellow for the top.
Yeah, okay.
Man, why is OG Magmar's head such boobs?
So disturbing.
You know, sometimes I want to be like, they wouldn't do that on purpose, right? Like, they wouldn't make a boobs monster. But then I think of Nuggets and how they how that's a joke, because gold the nuggets in Japanese are something like gold ball, which is just a euphemism for testicles. And then there's like that one character who says there's nothing funny about nuggets. So like they obviously did that on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they did make a boobs monster on purpose, and then they're just like, let's give it some bird elements so that we can pretend it's about the booby bird.
Yeah.
And not about the tits on its forehead.
Yeah.
That would make a great video talking about like adult references and jokes and Pokemon.
Oh, that would be an awesome video.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'd have to do a lot more research because I only know about Like for sure, the only one I know is the Nuggets.
The newlyweds with the onyx and cloister.
Oh yeah.
For
The
sure,
people,
for sure.
the people who want the big shroomish and barboach. That was in Gen 3, I believe, and the onyx and cloister were, I think, Gen 4.
The Shroomish and Barboach. I don't know what you're talking about.
The city you dive upward into.
In Gen 3, yeah, Sutopolis.
Yeah, Pseudopolis. I'm pretty sure they're in Pseudopolis, either that or the city before that. But they're like collectors of like large shroomish and large barboach.
Okay.
So like big boobs and big penises.
Okay.
Jeez, Pokemon. Now we're talking about Alder's balls in chat. I'm not familiar with Alder's balls. Please enlighten me.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm gonna let Sharon take that one on, but it came up in a previous stream too. Yeah.
Oh my god, did I miss that one? Did I miss the ball stream?
Which stream was that? New Year's stream maybe? That might have been it. My New Year's art stream.
Oh yeah, I popped in that real quick, but I was at a friend's house, so I couldn't stay.
Yeah.
So I think I was just like, hello, bye.
Yeah, and I saw your message and responded to it, but I think by the time I did, you were probably gone because it took me a while to see it.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just wanted to be like, hey, support. Anyway, peace.
There's one that's not a dirty reference, but it's there's an artist in I think either Platinum or Diamond and Pearl or both, who he's like outside of one of the towns at like the left hand entrance. And after you battle him, he says his new art piece is going to be called My Pokemon is Fight, which is a reference to the book My Tank is Fight by Something Awful writer Zach Parsons.
Ah.
Yeah, because the person who translated those games originally was a goon, a Something Awful goon, so they put a couple of references in the game.
Oh,
That's
okay.
great.
Yeah.
So all of Alder's balls are just jangling about.
Yeah, Nabucco Sawara is or was at least known for being into Something Awful, so.
Yeah.
I love this Alder's balls lore.
Yeah, and one, like, there's, like, the one trans trainer. Again, not an adult thing, but,
Yeah.
the one trans trainer from the... Because somebody said there was, in XY, there was, like, there was, like, a guy who was dating another guy, so...
Yeah, I'm sad.
LGBT references in Pokemon.
I'm sad they made it a little more subtle in the localization. That's a weird thing that Nintendo does sometimes. Like they did that with Paper Mario too, with Vivian, and like it's strange because I feel like we're way more accepting of LGBT culture in America.
Yeah.
So like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they would change that people in Pokemon used to get married to people in Pokemon just sit at the same table.
Yeah. They don't want to please the furries. They hate them.
That's sad. And I don't think they hate furries because they continue to make designs that are, well, maybe not exclusively, but they are clearly furry bait. So
They don't hate furries because Salazzle and Lopunny exist.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Braixen.
There was also that episode of the anime where Meowth has he has like a fantasy where he's frolicking in a field with Gardevoir, Lopunny, and Glaceon. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way to read that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that the Azurill and Meryl thing was a coding error, but like that was so cool to be like, oh, sometimes your Pokemon's trans.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. What gen did they patch that out in? I didn't know that that was gone. Jamin's not around anymore.
Yeah. It's anywhere for the people who are into the furries who are into the dudes.
Yeah.
Lucario, that's another good one.
Yeah.
Lucario is for everyone. It's for the furries and the edgy dudes.
Yeah. Really has that wide appeal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when the new Pokemon games were less glitchy instead of being more glitchy?
Yeah.
What a delight. It's funny the things that people keep finding out about BDSP that are just like wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I learned.
Because I don't want to ruin Gen 4 for myself.
Oh, do you not want to hear about them?
No, you can tell me.
Okay.
I just the thing is, I haven't played the BDSP like games yet because I'm worried that it'll like retroactively make me like Gen 4 less.
Bad. I think people are just disappointed that they could have been a lot better because, like,
Yeah.
obviously Pokemon has more money than God, so they have the means to make very good games, but they want to get a game out every year before Christmas, so
Yeah.
it'll be under the tree. The one that I was just thinking of that I learned the other day is for chaining, you normally have guaranteed IVs when you're continually catching Pokemon, where they'll reach a threshold and you'll get like 1 perfect and like 2 perfect and 3 perfect and so on. In BDSP, they screwed up the coding, so at a chain of 10, you'll get 1 perfect IV, but at 11, 12, and 13, you'll get 0. Because they forgot to do any intermediaries.
Yeah.
And then when you get to 20, you'll get 2 perfect IVs, and it'll drop off to 0 again until
Oh,
you get
no.
30.
Oh,
It's
that's
very
so
bad. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, no, Platinum is one of the best Pokemon games ever made, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful, and it sucks that they didn't even include a lot of the platinum stuff in BDSP.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even try. They're like, whatever.
I'm gonna have to go back to... Ah, damn, I did that on the same layer. I didn't mean to. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to go back to play Emerald, or not Emerald, to play Platinum again the way that I am Emerald, because when Platinum came out, I decided not to get it because I had been so disappointed by Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't actually play it like back then. I only played Platinum once, and that was in 2018. And it's a Let's Play on this channel. If you want to watch it, I don't know why you would, because it's from 2018, but I played it as a Nuzlocke, and the thing is, I hate Nuzlocks. So
You wouldn't be enjoying yourself regardless.
Sorry?
You wouldn't be enjoying yourself regardless.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I could tell objectively that it was a better game than Diamond and Pearl, because I don't especially like Gen 4. So I could tell that Platinum was better, but the fact that I played it as a Nuzlocke didn't help. So
Yeah. It just makes me so sad that, like, the shit remake is the one of the region I love.
Yeah, it's rough. It's entirely because like they outsourced it and rushed it out the door. So like I'm hoping that they go back and like fix some stuff. I hear they did come out with a patch already
Yeah.
that like fixed some stuff, but like it doesn't help the initial impression, and like I don't know how much will end up getting fixed, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what the patch changed, because I don't think I've even touched the game since the patch came out. But one thing that I know that it changed is that now, like, when your repel runs out, it'll actually tell you that it was your repel that ran out.
Yeah.
Because it used to just be like you're running around, and then the game stops, and a dialog box pops up that says, "Would you like to use another?"
And you're like, another what?
Oh, right, yeah, I put on a repel. Yeah, sure, I want to use another. And so now I think it actually tells you what it was that ran out.
Yeah. I think a lot of the patch fixed like soft locks in like the gyms, and
okay.
there was that one in the city with all the rocks in it. We could get just stuck behind the couple and just like have to restart your game because there's no way out. So.
The thing is, I was not expecting the worst, because the last two like third game / remakes were good. Like Boras was good. Like Boras was better than XY. Fucking fight me. But like, and then Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, some of my favorite Pokemon games ever.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, so like
they would have been much better without Sun and Moon first, but yes, they are great.
Sun and Moon were fine. Sun and Moon were fine.
Well, now they'll retroactively be remembered as the last Pokemon game where we actually had all the Pokemon. So like,
yeah,
they've got that going for them. Yeah, I'm sorry it was Sinnoh too. I also wanted it to be better than it is.
Yeah, it makes me so sad.
Well, here's the good news. They can't take away how good Platinum is from you.
Oh yeah, no, they at least can't
always
take
have
away
that.
that. But Platinum there's so many quality of life things that, got changed
for sure.
in the games after that. So I was just hoping it would be at least on par with like Sword and Shield, which were not great, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Sword and Shield had a lot of faults, but it also had a lot of good stuff to it.
Yeah.
In particular, the competitive side, but
Yeah. Pokemon is just it's trying to see how bad of a game they can release and have us still buy it. They're testing us at this point.
Yeah, I agree that the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would have been better with Sun and Moon's story, but yeah.
Yeah.
That said, Sun and Moon's story was it had its flaws. I will say at least they tried.
how does this look?
I think it looks very good. The only thing I don't really love is the negative space next to the neck on both sides, because I think it's just so tiny that it can get a little muddled. So I think I would personally either make the shoulder stuff bigger or smaller to either obscure that negative space or make it more defined. But like, that's it. It's just a nitpicky thing.
The one on the right is easy enough. I just delete that line and color it in. But I was thinking more of the colors. I think the orange is too red. Because I like the contrast between the orange and the pink in the sketch. And
yeah, and they do feel a little too similar.
They're too similar here.
You can change it back.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So
Castform asked, I was actually wondering, Libris, why do you not like Nuzlocke? I personally love the challenge and adrenaline, especially in hardcore Nuzlocke. Not saying it's wrong for you to dislike them.
Wait, so it's wrong for me to dislike them?
No, it's not wrong. Why do you dislike them is basically what you're asking.
I hate grinding.
Yeah, that's the big problem with Nuzlocke. It's all grind.
Simple as that. Yeah, I hate grinding. So when I want to give myself a bigger challenge of some kind, I do it like I kind of do it as a soft Nuzlocke in like maybe I'll only catch the first Pokemon that I encounter per route, or
Yeah.
I will, or I'll only catch one Pokemon per route, but not necessarily the first one. So I have, some freedom to figure out what I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, grinding is what ruins it.
Well, you won't have that problem in BDSP. I realized that I was accidentally nuzlocking when I was playing through, because just nothing fainted. XP share is always on, which drives me crazy, but that's just one of my many.
Oh, I love that, actually, because it means that I never have to grind.
I'm very happy for you, and I'm glad that it's there. I just wish I could turn it off.
What you have to do is put more Pokemon on your team. That's the solution.
I have the max amount there.
No, the max amount is not 6. The max amount is as many as you want on rotation.
I don't want to cycle them. That's silly.
Cass, what game were you playing? Oh my god. Whatever. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, I was doing the accidental nuzlocke. Well, here's the thing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make. I played this game before. I'm gonna make it more challenging for myself by not using Pokemon centers. And then, in addition to not doing that, just nothing was fainting as well, because the XP share is always on, and there's so many NPCs that'll just heal you incidentally in that game, which is fine. But I just could not make the game hard for myself, no matter how hard I tried.
In BDSP, the important battles were challenging enough for me. I had a team of 10 Pokemon, and I lost half of my first battle against gym leaders.
Oh.
Crazy.
And I lost repeatedly against the Elite Four.
In your defense, I have not gotten the Elite Four yet. I kind of dropped off because I was just like low interest. I think I got like half the badges, and I've been meaning to pick it up again, but I just haven't. So.
Well, I'm not going to blame you for that. So.
If that's any testament to the game, yeah.
Yeah, a hard Pokemon game. Diamond and Pearl, they're fine.
I really like a hard RPG, so I think the answer is I just switched to Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, just
Call
play
it a day. Yeah. Well, I definitely like what you did with the shoulder blade there. Hopefully, Infinipede's also cool with that.
Cannot see it right now. Oh, yeah, looks fine to me.
Yeah, I just hid the gap on the left, and
Yeah, just fill it in with some
on
yellow,
the other
it's good.
one, yeah, I'm just making it slightly bigger.
I
Just
don't
to
know if you
cover
feel
the
this
gap.
way, but sometimes like tiny bits of negative space can feel very distracting to me from the overall.
I didn't notice,
No,
or like it
that's
didn't bother me. I mean, I knew it was there. It didn't occur to me that it might be a bad thing.
I don't even think it necessarily is. It's just I don't like it.
Yeah, we really do need difficulty levels in Pokemon. Like, most RPGs do it now. And
Yeah.
they should just do it changeable difficulty. Like, oh, if the kid fucks up and it's hard and it's like, wah, it's too hard, they can change it back. It's
Pokemon has no excuse. They should have the most accessibility options of anything, and they just
Yeah.
don't.
They should have more accessibility options for sure, but in the case of difficulty, it wouldn't be an accessibility option because it's already easy. But
An inaccessibility option, if you will.
But I don't think like the difficulty options like they were done in Gen 5, where it's just like the only thing that really changes is the levels of the opponents.
No, they also changed, like, the amount of Pokemon they had on, like, the gym leaders and such.
Right, okay. Even then, that's not enough to like, that's not the only kind of thing that they need to allow
Yeah,
for.
no, but it's a start. It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, it's better. It's better than what we have now.
sure. I think that like the kinds of changes or the kinds of options that you need to have is along the lines of like set versus switch mode. Like whether you get to switch your Pokemon after you knock out an opponent or not, or like that's a good one. And nowadays I only play on set mode, but like whether you're allowed to use items in battle, whether you and your opponents ideally get like the bonuses from affection. Like those are all things that you could turn off and they would increase the difficulty. And you could just turn off the ones you don't like. Like I don't like difficult games. Like I like a good level of challenge, and I like the challenge to just be satisfactory. That's it. So if increasing the difficulty is going to cause me to have to grind, it's going to be a worse experience, right? If it's just a matter of levels and number of Pokemon, it just means I'm going to have to grind more. That's not a good experience.
Feel you.
Yeah.
I kind of like having to grind sometime, but I realize it is not engaging at all. So cutting that out should be cool to do, and difficulty should be raised in other ways necessarily than just like, hey, get a higher level.
I think adding more Pokemon is a fine way to raise difficulty, especially if they're like have weakness covering attacks and stuff for gym leaders.
For sure.
I like affection.
Sure, no, but that's a little bit different. That's not just have more Pokemon. That's have a better thought out team.
Yeah. I like affection from like a role playing standpoint. And Rank, you take that back. I play Switch mode, but I just don't care. Like I treat Pokemon more as a storytelling game than as a like challenge. Like when I play through the game for the first time, I just want to run around and like be like, oh yeah, I caught this. This is on my team. This is its name. You know, like I like the games if I could adjust the difficulty in certain ways, but like I don't necessarily need that in my first playthrough.
I feel you.
Yeah. I noticed how differently the sizes of the eyebrows are. Do you like the taller one on the right or the shorter one on the left? Which one should I match?
Tall one.
Tall one, okay.
Yeah, because it kind of, it's not like at such a similar level to the shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, that's definitely the play.
And the other thing is that, I don't know if this is just me, but there's something about the expression that you gave it that makes it look very feminine. That I don't think I quite captured. Like, maybe I need to make the eyes bigger?
Yeah, I think the eyes were bigger.
I think it's the wider eyes.
Yeah,
yeah.
The eyes are wider on my design.
So let's try that. We had Thog asking what the concept is. Do either of you want to go over it? No. Especially, he was asking why they are echidnas, so...
because it looked, some people say it's a bird. I don't think it looks like a bird. I decided to go with another beaked animal, which is the echidna. Not that it has like a beak, but like Magmar's beak is like kind of flesh colored, so I swapped the butt on its head out for flame eyebrows. I gave it like flaming shoulders like Magmortar has. I stuck with like the 4 claws like an echidna. The chest piece, the chest marking is made to sort of match with Libras's Electabuzz. I don't like how many Pokemon in Gen 1 have like a tip of tail flame, so I gave it like a flame ridge down the tail, and smoke again to match with Libras's Electabuzz, who has like a thundercloud. And I made the body look less like an egg.
Yep.
Also, everyone wants White Claws.
I'm okay with White Claws. I mean, will you take those over the Bud Light seltzer? That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a gross hard drink, to be honest. I don't know why you're all so passionate about it.
I think it tastes okay. It depends.
Can we get some Angry Orchard in here or something?
Oh yeah, I prefer cider definitely.
Some Smirnoff. Come on, chat. Work with me.
Smirnoffs are really sweet.
What's going on? Where did this conversation come from?
The joke is that White Claw is an alcoholic drink.
Oh, I see. Which I wouldn't get because I don't drink.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm fine with White Claws as long as the flame stays gray.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I went with gray because of the same parallel that we did with Electabuzz, but
I think it's better on Electabuzz than it does here.
Yeah.
And I don't think it necessarily has to be exactly the same.
Oh no, it doesn't. For sure, it doesn't. But
yeah.
But that's why I made that choice.
Chat, you'll be happy to know that a Finipede recently came to my house and drank a bunch of my White Claws, so they are clearly a fan of White Claws.
Green Claws? That's
all right, switch it up.
The eco-friendly version of
switch it up.
White Claw.
Time for the first green fire type. Sorry, cast form. Out of context, the sentence "I hate affection" is just A+. No, I'm with you. It was very cool when it was a optional thing that you could do.
Yeah, it was like, if you spend the time to do this, then you get the reward for it.
Yeah,
and now
I
it's
wouldn't mind it being optional. Like, I'm completely, like, I love the whole, like, your Pokemon, like, loves you so much it does this, but I'm okay with it becoming optional, again, one way or the other, whether it's, like, a mini game or what.
I still want it to just be something that your opponents can have as well.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
That would be great. It's like a cute little, like, it definitely leans more into, like, the role-playing aspect of Pokemon, where, like, your Pokemon is unique and has unique feelings for you, which I think is, like, so sweet and cute, but, like, if you're trying to make the game difficult, it's another thing that's gonna just make it way easier. Now it just happens.
How's this for the head? Adjusted eyes and adjusted eyebrows.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Alright, let me just put the colors back in place. And we can switch to
Don't worry.
White Claws if you really want to.
I'm a very slow typer as well. We're all good here. If I was in chat, I would be saying things not very often.
I mean, I have a hard time keeping up with chat, both when it's like my own stream and when I'm on other people's streams, to the point where I just don't really enjoy being on streams, especially ones where there's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, it's hard to, like, actually have a conversation.
Well, watch out, Leapers. You're getting real popular, so your chats are popping off.
If that happens, though, because I'm the streamer in this case, I have the option to turn on slow mode.
Yeah.
or subscribers only mode, or various other options.
Yeah, that's true.
To make sure that I can keep up with it as much as I want to.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that brought back some of the femininity. I think the other thing is that you have it kind of looking to the side. In your sketch.
I'm fine with it looking straight.
Yeah, no, I don't want to have it looking off to the side, but I think that might be part of like what's just very subtly making it seem more feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not huge on giving, like, cross-eyed looks to my art, but it doesn't look cross-eyed here. It's fine.
So,
do
we want to put 3 claws on the toes? Because that's something else I noticed. Because Magmortar, I know it's not really about making it fit with the designs for the design challenge.
I prefer the 3 claws.
Okay.
Totally they do all have only 2 claws.
But
in the originals.
I like the 3.
Yeah, that's acceptable and valid.
Yeah, and hey, they look like bird feet, so there you go, bird people.
The boober is still here,
Boober's still in the building.
even if it's still not very blue or booby.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There is Magmar. And
Yeah. Fucking cool.
and there, right behind it, is Electabuzz.
Wonderful work today.
Yeah, no, both of them came out really good.
So are we doing a double next time? Are we doing Lapras, Tauros, Magikarp, Gyarados?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Alright.
Okay. I'll have to really prep. 4 in a day is a lot, but we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's doable, and we're not gonna necessarily. Actually, none of them besides Magikarp and Gyarados. None of them need to be like consistent across, so we can just do one and move on.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
have to do the like back and forth thing.
Yeah. And you can just change the feet to blue.
Yeah, I love how Electabuzz has the blue accents and Magmar has the like reddish pink accents. They look so good side by side.
Yeah, no, they look awesome
They
together.
look great. Yeah, and I think you can tell that they are counterparts.
Yeah, for sure.
One is very thundery or very electric-y, and the other one is very fiery. But they also have the like parallel design elements. I think that looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our next stream day. Let me pull up the calendar. I do not have my calendar open. So our next stream day is on the 12th.
Of February.
Yes, of February.
Okay.
I actually realized, looking at like my plans for future videos and when the streams are gonna happen, if we don't like skip a month entirely, we will be done in October.
Ooh.
Wow. This year.
Yeah, we will be done this year. Whoa.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm actually gonna increase the frequency of the new and 51 spotlight videos. I've been doing them more or less every 3 months, but I am gonna increase it to every 2 months so that I'm only doing videos for about a year after we actually finish. Yeah, so that should be exciting, and by then we'll be about 2 weeks into Legends, so we might have not finished it yet, depending on how much time we put into it and how long a game it is. I have no idea, but we'll have lots to talk about.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will. We can finally say things about Legends on stream.
Sorry.
It's fine. I like to go spoiler free sometimes too. It's a fun experience.
And when Charon was asking when's the puzzle challenge stream, well, Charon, you may have missed this, but I am not going to be doing gaming streams anymore. At least not for the foreseeable future. We'll see. But yeah, they weren't working for me. Just in general. So sorry. Rank, this is the first time you've hung out so long during your streams. This was fun. Well, I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, great name too. Rank Baloney. Gross. Good to have you.
Yeah, Charon, that's what you get for missing the brainstorming stream from the other day. Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out with us, and thank you Infinipede and Banana Meteor for joining me.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll see you next month for for a whopper of a stream.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
real. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.